What's the best way
Is
to...
that fucking... God damn it.
I'll figure it out. You have any glue?
These fucking...
You have an electrician?
I love Vinny like was keyed in with me. Glue? He's like, glue? What kind of glue? Elmer's? Crazy? Gorilla? Somebody hit me with another glue and I'll fucking give you $10,000 cash. I have it in my car.
Crazy glue.
No, we won't with it.
Oh, you said crazy. Fuck. Yeah,
All
dude.
right. Here we go.
You know what? It's close enough.
Whatever. Like that?
I think that's great.
Is that legal?
I think that looks great.
Wendy, you happy with that?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dane Cook. Yeah, dude.
What's up, man?
So you met Scott,
Yep.
my co-host.
Yeah.
This is a long time coming, man. Like, you were one of the first guys that I wanted to get on here. Because you've been so generous with your time, with your support, and really without you, I would not have launched into a comedy career the way that I did. And
Have you ever, do people really know like how that kind of transpired and where we ended up yapping?
Well, I never shut up about it.
Oh,
So.
I've heard fragments and flex, and I was always like so moved that you acknowledged that we had that time. But I don't know if I've ever really held court with you to talk about like how that night was meaningful for both of us, because I was also in a very convoluted place in my life and time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just to give people the cliff notes, it was when the first tiny rumblings of the press machine revved up for the Jackass 3D movie.
Yep.
That movie came out in, I want to say, October, but we're back like a few months before that in like maybe August, maybe even July. 2010. And I showed up for this Young Hollywood at the Four Seasons Hotel. They had a whole suite rented out, using it as a studio. They were cycling people through, doing interviews. And when I showed up for mine, they said, "Oh, dude, Dane Cook's in there. Go ahead and just barge right into his interview. It'll be hilarious."
Yeah.
So I walk in. By the way, we found footage of this, too.
Did they say barged, by the way? That's usually not the word that they tee you up with, right? Hey, you should pop in and say hi, but usually barge. Maybe for you it's barged.
Yeah. So I go in, I sit down. It was the first time we ever met. It was a pleasant experience. And I said, dude, Dane, I've done stand-up a couple times, and it's something I really want to dive into. And you said, great, cool. Next week we'll get you up on stage. And, like, I figured after the interview was over, maybe, like, you would just, it was great to say that on camera.
Yeah.
But sure enough.
Lip service Hollywood.
Yeah.
When the cameras
I got
were
enough
not
of it to
on,
know I didn't want to be that, but...
Yeah, when the cameras were no longer rolling, you were like, yeah, seriously, man, here, let me give you my number and let's plan this out.
Yeah. Because I quickly identified something that we talked a little bit about, which was I knew a lot of people that were very talented that wanted to figure out how to recalibrate to stand up. And sometimes in the community, that's like really frowned upon. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, they think, this is what they think, a lot of people in the community. You're a really good drummer, but you want to play guitar? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Right.
And I assume if you're good at one instrument, you're probably good at entertaining people, maybe in a couple of other instruments. And I had also gone through the same thing of like, I came up in kind of like a way that I broke ahead of a pack, and because I was using this new social media element, I was somehow not legitimate. I was hitting a button and
that's interesting.
Circumventing. So by the time this dude comes in the door, and I'm a bit of an energy vibe guy myself, I was like, oh, I identify that. I know where this guy's at. And also, I'd known like guys like Bert Kreischer, who I was telling you I sat at a Hojo's in Times Square in '95, and he was coming out of a time when he was the Rolling Stones, the Machine,
mm-hmm.
Party Animal,
and comics were being shitty to him. Like, he's not one of us. He's not legit. He came from a hype article or something. So I was like, I was like, I'm a fan, and I felt like you were really sincere in that moment. And I wanted to just return that sincerity.
Well, dude, I appreciate it so much, and I remember every bit of it. Like, I spent the next week just writing material. I was even going to like these hole in the wall open mics to practice
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep.
I was, rehearsing it, writing it, rewriting. Spent that whole week just like coming up with this crappy little set, and we showed up at the Hollywood Improv. You went on, and I think it was like Sarah Silverman, and then you, and then me, and I just couldn't have been more nervous. I did my set. I remember my first joke was, I've been clean and sober since Johnny Knoxville pulled an intervention on me. And you know you have a problem when your interventionist is Johnny Knoxville. And, it was what it was. I did this thing, and then what was crazy was that after...
Yeah. For me...
It was funny.
Not only funny, but, like, my brain always goes to, like, if there's truth in your whatever... I respond to that even more than if you said something very funny that was only observational.
Mm-hmm.
Like, response is the response, but like you were saying something really real within the shell of something humorous. So that was cool.
That's how it's been like all along. It's just been like 100% like my reality.
How comedians get pissed when you come on and become a comedian from acting. Do actors get pissed when you are a comedian then you become an actor? I mean, is it kind of the same thing? Or are they like, hey, welcome?
No, in fact, like when I just very quickly when I dovetailed into some dramatic stuff or stuff away from comedy, they were, if anything, people were excited, like, oh, you're going to bring an element to this scene or this script
That's crazy.
Maybe we didn't. You're doing something dramatic, but if we need something comedic, they kind of look to you, go like, you probably have an idea. Right. But the comedy world, as you now know, there's a lot of thorn patches, and there's, it's more competitive than what you would see exterior, as far as like, you think it's a community of just funny people just
shooting
championing. It's just not.
Right.
I wanted it to be that too for the longest time, but it's just not. And so you can when you find somebody who keys into you and is like, take a breath, come back. Somebody said to me really recently, dude, I've been getting beat up by so many kind of comics, and I think I'm going to quit. And I was just like, just do me a favor, don't quit tonight. Okay?
Yeah.
Based on this conversation, give it another night, give it one more shot. You'll feel a little differently with some new inspiration or whatever. But that moment, and 2 years later, have you and I talk about it and acknowledge it. I said it last night, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. Look what you've done. You're so entrepreneurial, and I'm sure a lot of those people that maybe or maybe not are in your book are probably thinking like, man, I wish I had been more of a friend of that guy.
So Dane's the reason why I have a tour managing job too.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Also, real quick before you tell me that story, I'm the one who released Wendy. I would just let dogs out of the van and hope that maybe they found love in Peru. And so, Wendy, you're welcome, and Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, I'm his tour manager, and so like that he brought me on like 9 years ago. So
got it.
Because he's a stand-up comedian.
By proxy, it was like, okay, that's cool. That's very nice, man. I love that.
Yeah. So I do the first set, and now keep in mind, Dane did his set, then he introduced me, and then I did my set.
Oh, we were tag team that night. Oh, shit. Okay.
You brought me on, and with vicious cruelty. Like, I had left a bottle of water on the piano at the Improv, and you were like, does anybody like have a hazmat suit to remove this something or other, like,
anybody want herpes?
That it was like every, like, without fail, like on stage, Dane would be like just vicious.
The hazing cruelty of love that you only get from a comic that really cares about you.
That's cool.
But then he gets off stage, watches me perform my set, actually cared to pay attention to it, and then when I got off stage, we sat down in the restaurant adjoining the Improv, and I'll never forget it. Like, I sat down and Dane said, all right, I'm not sending you back to the drawing board. And I was like processing. I was like, wait, okay. So like he said, what I'm concerned with is your delivery, more than your material. Your material is like working, just you're so like tense and like nervous, and I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I was nervous, like. Right.
Thank God.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I was nervous, and he was like, I need you to relax. Relax.
Did you film it?
Yeah, well, just relax. I'd like be more conversational.
Right.
Be more conversational. It's just you.
Right. You don't have to be the thing people know of you or think you are. You have to have some showmanship. But I was really just trying to tell him, like, dude, you're fucking revved.
Yeah.
Get revved. Years ago, Metallica said, when somebody asked, why are you now doing more ballads? And he goes, the hard stuff rocks harder when you slow it down a beat. And it was like, I took that into consideration in my own career. And I think I was trying to let you know that, like, you can't come out of the gate and fucking.
Well, yeah. And it was, you said you wanted to seem to be conversational, like don't make it be so much of a performance, but rather that you're talking like in a natural way to the audience.
Yeah, trying to tell you, like, you can build into performance pieces, but sometimes, like, in the own narration of your act, you gotta, like, that's when you can, like, cool down a little bit.
Did you film your set?
I did. That was a Wednesday night. And I was just so energized that you had been supportive, that you had been like what you told me put so much wind in my sails that I arranged for that Friday night, 2 nights later, to be at the Laugh Factory to go work on this material some more.
Yeah.
And it just so turned out that it was you, and then it was me. Right. We repeated the same exercise. So after my
I was like,
set,
put him on after me. I want him to learn everything all at once.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing. That night, I come off stage, and we sit down together, and you said, okay, now you're too relaxed. Now you just look straight fucking lethargic.
Shit, really?
He said, now you look straight fucking lethargic. You got to remember, this is a performance, like, you got to be an animated version of yourself,
right?
Because I was trying to relax. You're like, relaxing too much. And it was, then the next night, Saturday night, we fucking did it again. It was like this every fucking night on, we did it regularly.
Yeah, we did.
And you always took the time to watch my shit and sit down and give me notes, and it meant the world.
Hardest part about, like, when you're a comic, especially once, you've made it and people go, like, what should I do? And my whole thing is, like, it's not so much me telling you, I'm trying to always protect your integrity. When I mentor even comics now, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you how to be funny. I'm not going to tell you to take that out or add that in. I'm just going to try to help you to figure out, in some way, the fundamentals to get to whatever the truth is that you are. Because that's what they're going to respond to, even more than the jokes. Believe it or not, the jokes are not what it's musicality. It's I've got a secret. I'm going to let you know what it is in a second. Hold up. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of things happening under the surface. I came up watching a guy, Johnny Carson, on The Tonight Show. When a joke went bad, that's when he was fucking amazing. When the crowd didn't react.
It's like a facial expression. Like,
it was like, oh, that's where you're alive. Not in the formulaic stuff that you've prepared.
Yeah.
In the moments that something happens, somebody drops the glass, and then maybe somebody gets to know you within that moment. So I was getting to see you in real time. And again, like, I don't want to be like, recognizing pretty quick that, like, I really wanted to give you some genuine love and friendship. I just felt something from you. Maybe I even probably knew a little bit of your story to understand kind of like where you were coming from. But I remember night to night, whenever we could shoot the shit about it, I was always like, my goal tonight with Steve-O, middle name Gilchrist.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Is I always wanted to call him that, by the way. I was like, I don't call him Steve-O. I want to call him Gilchrist. Was to try to tell him a little something that I recognized that was good, and maybe something that was like, all right, that needs a little bit of...
Yeah, I mean, because let's be clear, like, I was doing this basically for the first time.
Yeah.
I wasn't destroying.
He was floundering. No. He was recognizable, and it was like he had a lot more work to do than somebody who's brand new.
Yeah.
Because they had assumptions.
He made me go up in front of 2,000 people.
Did he really?
I forced him to just.
He's like, don't worry, if you bomb, we'll film the entire thing.
Yeah, but you were saying that at that time that you were in what'd you say, a convoluted place.
Yeah, here's what you didn't know, which was like 2010. Okay, so like quick version was like I gone through like the death of both of my parents right around 05, 06, and then I go through this terrible situation with my brother. I had to put my brother in prison for, let's just say, bad management.
Yeah, we didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like, if I bring it up, it means, like, I'm cool to talk about it kind of thing. And then I went through the cool down of my everything was coming, like, the period of cool down in a career, and that was at the end of it. And then I was also getting smashed by comics that now I can say at 50, what I probably couldn't say then without maybe looking bad. Like, a lot of jealousy, a lot of animosity that I, at a young age, was famous, hanging around with beautiful women, rich, and there was a lot of, and I learned years later, and I can actually confirm that a lot of these same people came to me years later. I was just really fucking like, I was frustrating. I wanted to have more of what you had. Anyway.
I mean, dude, you were selling out.
It was a 10-year run, man. It was 10-year run of like everything I could have wanted to have happen in the world of stand-up, and then all these things beyond it. And by 2010, I was like, you know what? I never want to do to other comics, especially, because I love comedy and comedians, but I was so hurt by them. I was so fucking like let down in some ways by the comedy community. Not the guys I came up with. I came up with Burr, Patrice, Gulman, Bobby Kelly. Like I had a pod of love from the graduating class, but beyond it, there were so many like preconceived notions of who I was. And I was getting, at first it was a little fun because you're like, oh, I'm kind of like, I'm the target. And then it got like kind of ugly. And then things were like unnecessarily pinned on me. By 2010, I was so hurt and like disenfranchised that I was like, I could either go into myself and just like take what I've earned and go somewhere and be like, fuck everybody. I was like, or I can just like for the next generation of comics, not be that which was to me. Mm-hmm. And that was a major moment in my life where I was like, I truly felt after talking to him and then a couple of times later being like, I'm going to do this for everybody. I can. I make myself available as, I'm not really quite a mentor. I'm not at that age yet, but like, I'm not going to fucking reject anybody the way I've been rejected. And I don't to this day. And that's why we got to cheers on it last night to be like, dude, we overcame a lot of slings and arrows to be in a very healthy and, well-adjusted spot, man.
Yeah, how can you say you're not a mentor? You're the best of the best. Teaching people, like that's a mentor, right? And what age do you think you become a mentor at?
I don't think I was ready to I don't think at that period, if you'd given me any other award to say like now you're a provider of this, I was actually rejecting certain things that I was earning with my hard work because I was like, I'm so tired of being a target. I just don't even want any spotlight on me at this time. I was actually rejecting certain places where I probably would have enjoyed myself more because I literally was like just tired of the spanking machine that I was dealing with. And it took a lot of great, reflection, great therapy to finally know like, oh no, I know what my purpose, I know where my place is then. And I definitely know where my place is now.
Yeah, it gets tired shoveling money all day.
I hired somebody to do it. What do you think? I shovel my own money?
Sadly, it was his brother.
that was more like that was a plow.
Yeah.
I wish it was just a shovel.
Yeah.
That was gnarly.
You were if I'm not mistaken, the most prolific MySpace. What do you call it?
Tom.
Yeah, I mean, you were like, you had
TikTok 1.0 was like MySpace, right?
Yeah.
The first place to go viral really was MySpace.
Right. I mean, how big of catalyst for your comedy was the MySpace?
It was like, okay, so leading up to MySpace was like, I see this internet thing happening. I'm on things like AOL Instant Messenger, and I'm trying to share my screen name. And I'm kind of seeing like, oh, wow, this is like, I'm finding people. Like somebody in South Dakota is like, I'm following you. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't think I'll ever go there. Maybe I don't know if I'll ever tour there. I'm writing this person. I'm doing that for a couple of years, and then MySpace hits, and I'm like, let me put on a page and link everybody on that Instant Messenger, which now you'd say DM, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll put it all on there. And I kind of had a hub and invited everybody on there. Within a couple of weeks, I had 2,500 people. Now, here's what's funny. The month before, I was in a rut. I was super miserable. I literally called my mother. I was like, I don't know why I'm even out here anymore because everything I thought was going on is not.
In LA?
In LA. Yeah, a couple of things that I thought were like sparkly, dulled. And I had a couple of little hits on TV, but for the most part, except for doing college gigs, Hollywood was not saying like, you're up. Mm-hmm. It was like, no, we already have somebody kind of sort of like you. And I brought no data, really. I didn't have a TV show, nothing successful except like I could show you receipts of tour tickets. So I'm like, my mom and I talk, and she's like, why don't you just keep doing that thing where you're like, conversating with people? That's kind of unique. That's kind of cool. And I was like, yeah, this new thing, MySpace. I get on there. I take my 2,500 people. And one night I come home from the Laugh Factory and I spend the whole night. I think I probably respond to 2,500 people. Like, welcome to by their name. Hey, Carla in Iowa. I saw it's your birthday last week. Happy birthday. Here's a link. And I start sending people. I spend the whole night.
A link to what?
Like some comedy, MP3 comedy.
Okay.
I uploaded some excerpt.
Right.
A couple days later, I'm dating this girl, Cassidy. I remember Cassidy comes down into the office and she hears me laughing. And she comes down, she's like, what's up? And I was like, this. I go, look at this. I go, it's 3,800 people in like, what are 12 hours? And now these new people are like, I just got your link and I'm watching. 3 weeks later, it's 6,000 or 7,000. That same girlfriend, she walks in and she goes, keep in mind, I was miserable, 5 weeks before? Like, no clue what my path forward was. And I'm sitting with my arms behind my head. I'm just like sitting in my fucking underwear with some Fruit Loops. And I'm looking at the computer. She goes, what is going on in here? I go, I'm about to take over the world. She goes, you are? And I was like, this nobody realizes. And I was telling people, I wasn't even keeping it like covert. I was going to the clubs and be like, do this.
Right.
Try this out. And those same comics, we're going to go party. Kind of dismissed me. I go home every night for 4 years. I shook every hand digitally with every fan and sent links to pretty much every single person until I had millions of followers and could not do it anymore.
Man. And
Madison Square Garden, 1 click.
Wow.
2 shows sold out. 1 click. I'm there on this date. And after that, nothing was the same again in my life or career.
How many people shows up at Madison Square Garden?
That's
2 shows of,
right?
little 18.5 or something like that. In the round, though, is like full, like almost 20,000.
Right. It was called the Vicious Circle.
That was the rough round. Yeah, Vicious Circle. Vicious Circle was first.
And what were you doing before Madison? Like, how big a venue before that? Like
before that, college gigs, like I kind of hit like a maybe 25, 2,800.
So you went from 2,800, 2,800, 2,800, 20,000.
2,800, 2,800, maybe like a 3,000 or 4,000 ready. Then Penn State, which I started filming everything for what was then known as webisodes, like little clips, excerpts. And so I brought a camera crew and I filmed 1 month of touring with Bobby Kelly, Gary Gulman, Jay Davis. And I filmed something that I thought was just going to be free webisodes and ended up getting Vicious Circle from HBO. Chris Albrecht was at HBO, offered me my first special. He's like, what are you going to do? I go, I'm going to do this tour and try to drum up some more fans. By the time I got to Penn State, they called me up. It was supposed to be 3,800, 4,000 people. They said, we just moved your show to the Field House. 12,000 people are here. And I filmed it. So I have that night on film. I go and I see Chris Albrecht. He goes, what are you going to do now that you're done with the tour? I said, I got 400 hours of footage for fucking freak webisodes that I need to edit. And he goes, pop one in. I had him in a duffel bag. I throw it in. Chris Albrecht, HBO, he goes, this is like a show. Yeah, I go, we didn't film it like a show. We just filmed everything. He goes, cut it up into 8 episodes. I'll buy this right now. We'll put this on, call it whatever you want. I called it Tourgasm.
Yeah,
and then
that's
it aired
what it
before
was.
Vicious Circle.
Did you do that with New Wave / Comedy Dynamics?
That's right. Well, I was with Barry Katz at the time, and I think he had folded into that company.
Right.
Yeah. It was right around that time. I think they'd joined forces.
Because I remember being at New Wave and seeing that.
Yeah, it was right around that time. But I was already, like, honestly, my philosophy was already so different from a traditional business route that even then I was already looking and thinking, like, I don't want to depend on, I could do this myself.
Right.
People, they were asking me what to do because I knew more about tech, probably similar to the way you are now. I'm asking you questions now going like, hey, who do you use for your blah, blah, blah? It's
Right.
like I was in the know and nobody else really was.
By the way, he wants to set up his...
merch operation?
Not merch operation. I don't know. We didn't talk about merch, but his
Eventually.
special. We had this great...
Oh, yeah.
We had this great conversation at dinner last night about owning our own shit.
Yeah.
We love
That's the future.
Yeah, we love owning our own shit.
100,000%.
Yeah.
Yes. And we don't even need to get into it, but I've read every deal, every contract, and I think we can all agree.
Well, yeah.
It's like, if you can do it yourself, you should.
Well, it's like we have a friend that has a cooking show that's killing it, and then the Food Network approaches them, and they're like, okay, we'll offer you this. It's like half of what he's making, and he can't say the F word. It's like, why would I go with you? They're like, yeah, we don't know why you would want to go with us.
I just don't like in stand-up where they want to take a piece and then they go, can you take this line out? Can you change this?
Yeah.
Can you open with this instead? And it's like, no.
And they're not even comedians.
Right. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
I get it and you don't. And especially like live comedy that you film, then when it goes on television, it's like that's not the same show. It's absolutely completely different because the energy is different from a viewing audience at home. So you need to actually know when you're even filming it. This is how I wanted to interpret it later. Like you're already thinking of, you should be thinking of like the edits and the cuts, and I know how this should be presented. So even more so, like get your hands off this. I know what my fans of however many years are interested in. Yeah. So I just hope it's ushering in a new era now with what we're doing.
Right. And so now would be
autonomy.
Now would be a great time to talk about your most recent special.
Yeah.
Which has had its it was a 2-week window for the platform called Moment.
I think by the time your fans see this, it'll be probably on danecook.com, but it's on Moment now. Moment.co.
So we're still in that 2-week window.
I extended it a little bit because we're having a good run, and then it'll go back to my website probably. Again, I don't know where this airs, but anytime right now, it'll be at danecook.com.
This airs on...
This is live.
1 week from tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So, a week from tomorrow will be the...
October 26th.
It'll be the last day of Moment, and then it reverts back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, help us understand the difference if you're a fan trying to consume your special. Do people look at their watch and say, wow, they got this the day it came out. Do I hurry up to get to Moment? Maybe, what's the difference in...
Yeah, the whole thing with Moment that really I thought was so ideal was it reminded me of like a modern day pay-per-view, like the internet version of it, to where it's like, all right, you have a special online, people want to come in, but you want them to see it the way you want to see it in real time, and you also don't want to not get the most important part, which is the data of who's watching my special. And this is where you lose across the board outside of your own website or a place like Moment, which is if you do any streamer, they will not let you know numbers, retention, region, demo, nothing. You get nothing. It doesn't matter who you are too. Like Ben Stiller's complaining about I can't get my numbers from Severance on Apple. So they're not in the business of sharing that because that would probably be leveraging a better deal for yourself, later on. So with a place like Moment, the 2 weeks or 3 weeks ends and you get a data sheet with all the emails, maybe phone numbers, everything.
Does also keep those emails, or is it like...
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it in their database. They kind of want to be like, they're looking at like we're Young Turks in the Ticketmaster-ish lane where they want to aggregate and build up so that they can then probably tell all their fans, hey, Steve-O's got a thing this week and Dane Cook's got a thing next week. Yeah. They want to be able to cultivate that fan base with you.
So they're not just in the actual digital media side of it. They're actually participating somehow in ticket sales on tour?
Not really yet. I don't think they have that full bandwidth in place. Right now, they set up that opportunity, take their fee. There's no ownership over your content. There's nothing to do with your IP is your IP. All they're taking is a couple of dollars off of whatever you set the charge to be to keep it on their server, to have robust chats happening in real time if people want to do that. The experience has been really, really great. And the quality of it has been really, really well received.
Is the price on Moment the same as what it will be at danecook.com?
It'll probably be $20 at danecook.com because I want to throw in some extra, I might be signing everything. I like to always throw in secret swag where you don't really know what you're going to get with it. Mm-hmm. So probably a little bit of an uptick. But I thought 15 was fair, especially when I saw Andrew Schultz, who had also gone the Moment route. And I thought I just think that that's a good number for what they're providing here, especially with the $2 tag on. So it was $17.
Is it downloadable when you do it?
Not on their page. Through me, it will be. You'll have that option. But on Moment, it's just on their service site. Yeah. And you can watch it for as long as the moment is a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you can watch it for a moment.
So the streaming license does not outlive the window that...
Correct. Yeah, at the end of that 14 days, it's just reverts to you. Over. And then they even said the next day you can put it on YouTube, you can give it away, you can do whatever you want on day 15.
Andrew Schultz heard that and he said, cool, we'll do.
Right, because he was like YouTube the very next afternoon.
One could argue that that the people who paid $15 to watch Andrew Schultz's special like woke up, saw it on YouTube the next day, and we're maybe a little bit pissed.
Yeah, but people like to get shit first, you know?
Yeah.
I think that there's a premium for like being able to
and maybe
talk
not
about it.
Maybe not. Plus, the viewership he's gotten on YouTube is staggering.
I would beg to guess that with him, that purchase was also a show of like, dude, we want to put you on the map. That was like a show of support versus if somebody who's Bill Burr did that, he'd be like, Bill, did you know 2 weeks later you're going to just give it away? Somebody like Schultz at that pivotal moment of his come up, even though he's been coming up for a while, that like really took him to another media level. I thought it was a smart play.
It was
his operation is impressive.
It was
very
Very. Yeah, we went to his studio, and he's got a whole crew of people.
Yeah.
And he couldn't be nicer.
I was going to say, and a good dude. I mean, texted him from the minute, gave him his flowers and said, dude, congrats. And he, we've kept in touch. He's a good guy. You're rooting for him, and that's why his fans are supporting him wherever he goes.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, all of his people were, like, very accommodating, and, like, that's how you know good people.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like the extra in every 70s movie, though? Doesn't he look like the guy who comes in with a tip or information, right?
Yeah.
There's just something about him, like, man, it's like, he's like Nicholson in The Shining, like, where he's in the picture at the very end. It's like, I bet there's like 50 pictures of Schultz in the 70s.
Yeah, for sure. He's reincarnated.
It's fascinating what's going on in the fucking world, man. Like,
well, some of these networks better get their shit together, or they're going to be out of business.
Skin in the game.
Yeah,
they need to be like more like smaller windows, quicker, revert to IP to the artist.
Right.
Otherwise, they're going to miss this bus. That's it. I mean, I have people. I won't name names, but I had certain people write like, "Why didn't you meet with us first?" And I was like, "Because I know your contracts, and they're like, that's not advantageous to me." Right. Or my fans who maybe at this point don't want to buy your streamer because they don't feel like there's the value in it the way they did, and I'd rather them just pay one-time fee, come to my gig. And
well, I mean, some of these fucking like shows, like, I mean, how many views does Comedy Central get? You know what I mean? What, 400,000 at most?
If and then after it's had its little push, it just evaporates and no one can find it.
I'll tell you, I love what Spotify's doing right now. And actually, quick plug is my album goes on Spotify this week as well.
And this is the name of this is
Above It All.
Yeah, Above It All.
And what I like about Spotify is you can download Spotify for Artists, and that is a companion app. It just goes right to your page, and it shows you in real time everybody watching, who's whatever. All that data is in real time updating, and that's kind of exciting to like log in and be like, this is where everybody's enjoying this piece of content right now. I love that.
Is the audio version exclusive to Spotify?
That and Apple iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, so speaking of business, right, like, is there another comedian who had the tenacity, the entrepreneurial spirit to rent arenas themselves? Like, has anybody ever done that? And what was that even like?
The first time I rented arena was mid to late 2000s, and it was really because after everything that happened with my brother, I was in a real bind, and I had everybody in my it's funny, I had accounting and people in my accounting who almost very quickly were like, don't need us anymore. I mean, that's how set back I was. It was almost like, we don't need to do any accounting with you because you're kind of at square one.
You told me last night that you had just bought a house, and they were like, hey, you're gonna have to get out of that house.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks away from like paperwork being signed, and they were like, no.
How old were you?
I have like dyscalculia, so sometimes numbers I was 28, 29. And they were like, don't do this. Well, I was like, I am going to keep this house. It was my dream house. And my idea was I had some money he couldn't take that was in like some stocks that just weren't easy to just, power of attorney out. And I took $450,000, which was pretty much mostly all I had to my name. And I was like, how do you rent an arena?
Yes.
And I started calling arenas, basically just calling and finding out it's just a hall.
Right.
And when there's no game in there, it's just like, except for a couple of insurance things that you got to cover. Back then, maybe it's different now. It's just a big hall, especially B arenas.
It's a big VFW.
I found that out. So I rented, I don't remember the first 2 I rented, but I remember the door is mine, the merch is mine. We did some deal on the food and drinks. And at the end of the 2 nights, I'd already put like $1.8 million or something back in my pocket. And I went, all right, here's 200,000. Rent me 2 more that are within that range. And we just kept renting the B ones, or maybe even a C one here or there, packing it out. And then I kept renting them. I probably rented, honestly, like 80 arenas on my own, and just was like, by the end of the year when I saw him in court, I'd already made everything back he stole. What took me like 17 years, I pretty much banked in a year.
Unbelievable. It's so rad. I think it was Barry Katz told me about you renting arenas.
Yeah.
And like, is that a model that anybody else adopted?
No, but I know that other people, they just rented.
They're doing it now.
Yeah, but back then it was like, I knew I was of that level, and I'm like, fuck, I want to be there, but I also don't want to, I can't split with anybody. I don't want to do any I don't want to do any, I need as much as what I can retain to get my company and everything and be like, back with my head above water. And I also just had a personal grievance against my brother that, like, just completely honest, I was like, when I see him a year from now in court, I want to fucking look at him and say, I have it all back. I just wanted to be able to say, I have it all back.
By grievance, you mean resentment?
Yeah, I had I had like a fire burning inside of me.
Was there any gratitude that if he never did that, you wouldn't start renting?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Dane told me that last night at dinner.
Yeah.
I mean,
he said, had that not happened, I would not have reinvented myself.
You know why I'm okay with it? Because past the betrayal and everything that breaks inside of you when somebody you love does that, betrays with love. Betrayal is bad enough. Betrayal with love. But I can actually look back and it's like, I got a lot of love from him. I had years of love with him. There was great memories. There's things that I can still look at and laugh. I used to think he rewrote my past. There was an era where I was like, I couldn't look at a picture without being like, that's not the fucking guy in the picture. And then just through doing the work and having great mentors and people around me to help me, it was like, no, I had great years with him. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen in order for me to really feel like I was standing on my own without being shrouded in the negativity that obviously he had around me for a lot of years that I didn't know till it was gone. And once it was gone, it was like, oh wow, this is what it feels like to have, like, clear air around you. So yeah, it's like, and I still have a great relationship with his son. I'm super close with my nephew. I love him. It's like everything that needed to come from that did.
It's crazy. So what, is your brother still in prison now?
No.
Okay,
he served like 5 or 6 of 8 years, and then he was released, and I've never talked to him since. He's my assistant.
He's your poor guy.
Yeah.
You learned a little bit on that comedy tour, man. The time you jumped right on the right spot.
So is there in like the justice system for that situation, is there like restitution, or do they just say, oh yeah, fuck ton of money, we don't expect you could ever pay it back? So
it's like there's all these promises and restitution and like the 48 charges or whatever that he was brought up on equals like $1 a month that you get back at some point somewhere. But I honestly looked at that and I was like, whatever the punishment is, give it to him, but there's nothing from that I need anymore.
Right.
Would you ever see him again and be like, dude, we're cool?
I will tell you this, because I have to be careful what I talk about at this point. I'm working on a documentary with a great group of people right now, and it's really about that era, the highest of highs of what's my philosophy and how did I get there and stand up, and really what is the cool, fun, funny shit that happened. And then the other side is talking about my brother. It's like the Empire Strikes Back of comedy series. And if I do it right, and if I answer your question in some regard, when this is on a streamer, maybe, or if it is, it should be either under comedy or true crime, or maybe both.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I wanted to live. Like,
That's
dude,
great.
that was fucking funny, but that was fucked up. That's hopefully where I want it to be.
Dude, true crime is my shit.
That's mine too. Yeah.
Are you familiar with JCS on YouTube?
No.
Oh my God.
With that YouTube
Criminal
you always listen to?
Yeah. It's criminal psychology. I just love all that
I'll dial
shit.
in on that. I watch all of that. I'm still watching like old forensics files from
Dude,
like fucking
I'll text you
88.
particular bangers.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Episode 9.
Yeah.
Do you feel like do you feel like you had a lot of, like, when you had that hate inside of you, you had a lot of like energy blocking you from like going forward in life, and then finally once you got over that, like your life started taking off again? Like, do you feel like there was some energy that held you back, and once you're able to...
Oh, for sure. I was in the undertow moment for, a few years.
Because of that hate?
It wasn't hate. It was like humiliation.
Resentment.
It was humiliation was the number one thing, because this is tough to not get. We grew up in a household that, because of my dad's alcoholism, there was a lot of humiliation attached to his behaviors. And so that was the key word. Like, we got to look like we're cool, because, my mom and I were like, oh, we don't want people to be able to like take our power with this, even though we already knew, the neighborhood knew. And I think there was just a whole thing of like, I thought I'd presented myself in my life and career as like, oh, this is what self-made looks like. And then he made me look or feel at that time stupid. Like I'd made the worst decision, and I knew some people were using that, like weaponizing that and saying like, oh, you're not as smart as you have claimed to be by getting to where you did. So yeah, it was more like, it was like humiliation coupled with the inevitable come down of a career at the same moment that was all kind of like happening. So it was like, oh man, this feels even more like they're pushing me down the hill, even though I could look back later and be like, no, I had my run and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you're back and you feel better. Like, what happened to get you to like...
Oh man, I love stand up. I love making people, I'm at my core, I just love making people laugh. I'm a very curious person, and I love getting on stage. I'm a storyteller. I love improv. I love human behavior. I like conversations that can be real and gritty. And I wanted to be able to take stand-up into more places than I had taken it. When I hit, I had like 6 tools, pretty sharp, but I was like, I'm still lacking in so many things that I wish I was better at. And it took me more years to get like, what does that mean? Like, I want to be more introspective. I knew some things that I needed better in my storytelling. I wanted to be more transparent about like failure equal to like not just going up there and being like, look what I did. How cool is that? Like being able to go up and be like, here's the shit sandwich that I ate. And and I ate every bite. And when you could talk about all those things, it's just such a different, it permeates the world in a different way, because now your laughter is meaningful, but your poignancy is meaningful. And then from that, all I've had the opportunity to share in like thousands of versions of this now, where it's like I've grown up with people that are like, hey man, I'm glad we keep each other in check. Your comedy keeps me in check. Your truth keeps me in check. It's just a nice place to be, and it's a nice place when you meet somebody like him to where Gilchrist, where somebody knows, I don't want anything from you. I don't need anything from you. I just want to share a little something with you. It's a really great feeling, especially in the industry, when you meet somebody you know. That's what Jerry Lewis was for me. When I met Jerry Lewis, he became like a mentor, in many ways like a father figure. He didn't want or need anything from me. And it was just such a valuable correspondence and currency of conversation with him. And that's what I want to be able to be in my comedy and just, in real time with anybody, with any of my relationships.
Is it safe to say that like the comedians that have risen to the level of selling out arenas, like before you, Andrew Dice Clay was at that level,
Steve Martin,
right, that comedy in arenas is like not sustainable.
Comedy arena is an event, and people come to be part of like drinks and craziness and listening to the album on the way in, and whatever happens in the room, they're going to get pieces of it, because in most places the sound is going to be questionable,
right? But
it's an event. I always looked at every comedy, every poster was like a Dane Cook event. Comedy in a theater, definitely comedy in a club, or any comedy in the park, it's a different gear altogether. It has different poignancy, meaning, and it isn't to say that some of the people that we're now seeing that have hit those big time shows, like Fluffy, like he's an example of like, he's Stadium. Tremendously hilarious. Doesn't matter if it's small crowd or he built an act for that. I built an act for that. But for the average comic, it's not the best way to say like, here, let me bring you into a quiet moment within that story. Like, you better go out there and you're swinging for the fences pretty much with everything in that routine on that night.
But you're not listening to hecklers in an arena.
I got hecklers.
But like, you can't even address it, right? Because it's so right? What's the difference between a heckler at a theater and a heckler at an arena? Are you still addressing like, hey, get this fucking guy out of here?
I was college age with college type hecklers, and they would like run up and try to fucking dive bomb the stage. I had a dude next to me take his shirt off, be like, and in front of 20,000 people, I just hear him. He's like this. He goes, "Let's trade shirts. Let's trade shirts." And he's screaming. I'm like, and then security runs up and he pulls up. He pulls down the stairs. The guy's bouncing on the stairs. What I would do, I remember, like, if somebody in the nosebleeds heckled me, dude, I was like, I would do a thing where I would look up like I could see you, and I'd be like, "Hey, dude, I'm going to get to that in a second, all right?" And I'd make you fucking believe I do see you. I couldn't see shit. It's like I'm staring into a light. But I would do everything in my power to be like, I got to corral and keep these people, like, tethered. And then when I get off at the end, go, "Oh, my God, that was like..."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get affected by it, right?
No, but you have to let them believe. Comedy, no matter the size of the room, is all about control. They need to believe that you're at the helm. And those big shows, same thing. That'll get away from you pretty quick, and I'm sure we've seen some of those shows, too. It's gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I describe performing comedy, it's such a fucking vulnerable art. It's like, you know, like a painting on the wall is just so vulnerable to somebody just coming up with a marker or a can of spray paint, you know? And it's like vandalism. So vulnerable to fucking vandalism. And that's what heckling is. People yelling shit out. They're vandalizing your performance. And it's fucking fucked. I saw Carrot Top perform in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
great show.
A few days ago. Great show.
Great show. Yeah.
Great show.
Great guy.
Great guy. He had somebody heckle, and they go,
wow.
And he just goes, "Oh, hey, I'm not busy. I'm not busy right now." Like,
love it.
It was so fucking masterful and hilarious. Like, "I'm not busy right now. Come on, let's talk about this."
It's so great watching a comic in that moment. What unfolds. It's the best.
Did you take notes on how to respond to a heckler? You just hear the mic drop. He's like, "Everybody hates you."
If you knew how much I hate you.
And then he works a 12-step program, so then he apologizes 5 minutes later. You know?
I love it.
Or he's like, "Yeah, I want this guy out of here." And then all the security guards go over to the guy. He's like, No, wait, we can keep the guy here. And now it's just a fucking tense moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where you're at now? Because you're how many years in? It's
been 12 years since you and I did the improv that
12
night.
years in, and I mean, aside from obviously you're having incredible success, but like I said, at year 15, I still felt like there was a lot of things I didn't know. Like, where are you at in terms? I know what you're strong at, but like, where do you kind of want to grow out that experience on stage? Besides not dealing with hecklers in the right way.
Dude. It's just that it accumulates over time. It builds up, and then it gets to a point where the littlest chirp, and you're like, ugh.
Or it's like you tell people not to record during the show, then right when he walks out, you just see a light fucking right at the thing.
Right. Where do I want to grow in my comedy? I would say writing, you know, like I'm about to wrap up the tour I'm on and put together my next hour.
Yep. How many dates was it? How many dates was the tour?
Oh, this one? Shit.
Well, it was like a year, like 6 months before the pandemic.
Started this tour before the pandemic.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, I've been hitting it hard,
right.
and it's been this evolution with like bits getting kicked out and
everywhere in North America they've been.
Yeah, we've been everywhere in North America for sure, except Boise, Idaho. And like I'm really challenging myself with the next hour I'm going to put together.
Okay.
Like really challenging myself to.
Did you tell them what you're going to do?
Well, you don't want to let the cat out of the bag, I'm sure, but like,
oh, it's out.
It is.
I mean, it's going to be called the Gone Too Far tour.
Okay.
I'm going to like obliterate the lines and go way too far. There's like,
need more of that.
One of the tentpole bits is going to be actual breast augmentation surgery. The doctor tells me that I can go double D.
Yeah.
I'll be buying a ticket for that one. Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you gonna do a meet and greet topless?
I don't know. I don't know that I'll be. I think I'm likely to be restored back to normal before the tour actually commences.
You have to sign your own tits at some point, though. That is like, that's a rite of passage.
Yeah, that's epic. But yeah, like writing for that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, just writing. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to like make it masterful.
Right.
Where like,
sorry.
You know.
I mean,
I remember like 2000. Sorry.
Same question to you. What do you want to work on?
I say 2011 was a year that when I started, I was I felt like I had done so many things in terms of like what I wanted to do with physical comedy, improvisational comedy, storytelling comedy, but where I wanted to it really accentuate is I wanted to really learn stillness on stage. Ooh. I wanted to be able to have that. So 2011, like the first day of the year or January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, I go, I'm going to stand, plant my feet, and I'm not going to move for a fucking year. And I spent all of 2011 basically for the most part at the not even taking like I was like challenging myself to go, I need to be able to tell everything from right here. And trust me, it was difficult. Some nights I was like, I just wanted to take it and walk or prowl the stage or do whatever. But I really hung in there because I wanted to be able to be cool in the pocket, because I knew if I could get that and get my breathing okay in that moment, then I could bring a story from like 100 down to like 0. And even in above it all, there's like 2 moments where, you know, I'm on my front porch. We filmed this at my house in the Hollywood Hills, and I let the entire thing just go down to like the sound of people listening and waiting for me to, you know, come back with whatever the next portion of the story is. And I wanted that so bad. And after that year, I could finally say that was probably the hardest thing I will ever do in comedy is learn stillness.
Damn, I'm a walker. I'm a walker.
Naturally, me too. I love it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be able to do that. Not all the time, but I wanted to be able to know I could stop and just say, now let me tell you something. This is the truth. And you're not going to interrupt me. You're not going to heckle me. I just want you to hear me out on something. And now I do that, and I do it easily. But I couldn't do that in like 05. I'd still be like, I'd be like doing this shit. I'm so sorry.
Now
Wow.
you told me last night that there was a point where you wanted to film a special on your fucking front porch.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you were telling me that that's what you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so and by the way, apologies for not having been to Moment and consumed this special.
I should have. This happened so quick, though. We were at dinner last night, and then he's like, swing by. I would have sent you the link and showed it to you, but...
Yeah, last night we just had dinner, and I was like, you know what? We could probably pull this together, make it happen tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, we had a fucking day today, though.
Yeah,
so you probably didn't have 10 minutes to yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
I filmed it on my porch at the same house that I thought I was going to lose. I actually stand in one point. Not that you would know this unless you're now understanding of it. I stood in the exact spot that I sat with my brother 2 weeks before I ended up putting him in jail, basically. He was with me. And I was like, can I buy this house? He was like, of course. He was like teeing me up for like the ultimate, like, you know, dive bomb. And so standing in the exact spot in what I think is my most kind of, for me, I guess I can say it, like, I feel very fulfilled with every element of this special. And I made sure to stand right in that spot and deliver a piece of information at some point.
So where's the audience? How many?
On my front lawn. About 1,000 people. They built rafters.
Shut up.
They built rafters
serious?
on my lawn. Yeah, Marty Kullner, who directed Vicious Circle and Isolated.
Dude, that's insane,
Yeah.
dude.
You put your address out there for people?
It was already on fucking Google. I knew people already had it. There was already drones that took pictures of my shit. Zillow already fucking lowballed the price of my home. But I was like, you know, dude, I want to do something that, I wanted to do something that was bombastic and big with the drones and Marty and what I knew would look like, you know, shooting up there with the whole Hollywood in front of me. But I also wanted it to be really small and intimate and personal. So I think it's the biggest and smallest comedy special ever created.
Dude, it sounds unbelievable to me. Did you do 2 shows?
Yeah, I did Friday night, but I nailed everything I really wanted in an hour and 40 on Friday. And Marty turns to me that night and he goes, you didn't even hiccup. It's like, you really got it. He's like, I would do 2 bits tomorrow night again and then do whatever you want. So I ran 240 the second night. And that was like a lot of great banter, pieces of material that from before the pandemic that maybe I didn't have a chance to, you know, figure out where they belong. So I'm editing part 2 now from the same night or the second night.
And you're editing it yourself?
I paused it now because at this point I'm just trying to recoup what I spent. It's like I'm all in on my own dime. That's the other thing is like people are like, oh, do you have investor? And like, no, I own it 100% myself.
Yeah.
So do I want to start editing? Yes. Would I like to know I got a few bucks back in the till which it's looking pretty good, then that's where I need to start. But probably in the new year, put it together, part 2.
Your nephew ever sees your show?
Cody? Yeah. I wanted him to come up to this. He couldn't come to this just for COVID, certain restrictions and stuff we had to do there. But yeah, he comes to my shows a lot.
Does he look like his dad?
He does.
Is it weird?
He's got maybe the first couple of times.
Yeah.
But he's such a stud. He's such a good kid. And
that's cool. You're still you're buds with him.
Oh hell yeah! I was like, I'm not gonna let this relationship go because of
course not.
His dad's stupidity.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about movies too.
Yeah, I love doing them.
Like,
anybody who wants to throw a fucking 50-year-old dude with half a testicle in a new film, I'm ready to go.
What's a half a testicle mean?
I had an undescended ball when I was born.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so the left one was like up here, and they can't bring that down until you're like 3 or 4 years old. So the right one got big, and then by the time they pulled the left one and pouched it, the left one was like this adorable little fucking side item.
Kidney bean.
Yeah, so I got but my right ball is impressive. I wish I didn't step on that. Fuck. That's exactly it. I love film work though, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you
yeah, the grocery store movie, the
Employee of the Month
with Dax.
Yeah.
Employee, and then
a movie that you're like, I don't even know if this is going to see the light of day. Like sometimes you make, even though that was my first one, I was like, I don't know if Lionsgate was a boutique company at the time, and I was like, this is my first leading role, but I also don't know if like these things always make it out.
It was great.
Yeah, no, it's got legs, man. People write me about it every week. Oh, my family, we still watch that. We love it.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw it like 2 years ago again.
Yeah, it's a delightful movie that holds up.
What was the one with Jessica Simpson?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Employee of the Month was Simpson. Good Luck Chuck with Alba, and Kate Hudson came in and did Best Friend's Girl, and she was like comedic royalty. She was like amazingly funny.
Kate Hudson was
unbelievable.
Out of all the celebrity females that I've ever seen in my life, in real life,
Yeah.
Jessica Alba was the most beautiful human being I've ever seen in person.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely lovely.
That was
Yeah.
high praise.
Yeah.
Do you have a...
He said that like not every other man on the planet would have been like,
yeah, but I've seen her in person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Who is the best on-screen kisser?
The best on-screen kiss was probably, well, actually, it's probably Kate Hudson, because we were just having so much fun on that movie, and we were real pals. She was actually dating Dax.
Oh, really?
Holy crap.
They were together, so he was hanging around, but like just our scenes were, it was just well written, so kissing and then some of the crazy shit we were saying to each other in between just to make each other laugh, that was probably the best experience. Everything else feels weird, man. It always feels so intrusive and strange, and there's a guy trying to light you and telling you, like, I have a big Irish head, so it's kind of like my head next to Jessica Alba is like, I look like a fucking rock creature coming in. Like, it's just all really weird until you see it, and then you're like, all right, next scene, let's go.
Yeah. Fuck, man. So, dude, I saw, when was it? Like, you were on, like, was it maybe Theo Vaughn's podcast or something, like a year or two ago? And
yeah.
Like, you were pretty big at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you've lost all this, like, what?
I lost weight.
I mean, what a shitty thing to ask.
Yeah, but you're still
No.
in shape. You're 50 and you're jacked.
No, a couple of things. When I did that podcast, it's interesting because I had gained a bunch of weight for a film that never ended up happening, where I had to play like a wrestler who like was,
okay.
whatever. So I put on a bunch of weight, and then I did some HGH, which I'd never done that
Human
before.
growth hormone.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then I did that, and dude, it like, well, the thing I didn't know about it is not only did it like bulk me up, but like it bulks up your facial muscles. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny because I saw that podcast recently. Now that was after I was coming off of it, but like the year before that, I almost like was unrecognizable even to myself. But I also just didn't feel, when I put the weight on, that movie went away and never ended up, COVID like absolutely canceled it. But then I was like, I want to get in the best shape of my life heading to 50. So I started swimming every day. I have a swim tether, and I do like an 800 to 1,000 calorie swim every morning. And it like, I'm probably down about 25 pounds in the last like,
you
weeks.
Look
weeks,
fantastic
man.
right now.
Oh, thanks, bud. I feel good.
Why didn't you do TR, like testosterone? Why'd you go to HGH? You wanted to get big?
I just went to an organization that was like, oh, we know the right, way to get you like, and I was like, yeah, I want to get like kind of like shredded, but like imagine a wrestler with dad bod who still kind of like the wrestler, like a little bit of your look, but still. Yeah. And I did it. It was working fine, but then I just finally just did not look like, I didn't look healthy, and I definitely didn't look like myself. And there's pictures out to this day that people sometimes send me and be like, dude, what the fuck did you do? Did you do like plastic surgery? And I'm like, no, I just, my jowls fucking, got muscles on muscles. So now it's just like, I eat pretty well, and I swim. I do, my fiance does certified Pilates instructor. So I do her class twice a week. I play with Harlan Williams. I play racquetball twice a week.
Okay.
And I swim every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a unique guy, man. Harlan.
Love him.
Yeah.
Harlan Williams, I put in Employee of the Month. And I put him in the movie because, again, honestly, I was like, I don't know if this movie's going to, I don't know how this is going to do.
Yeah.
But I want to surround myself with funny people, so at least I know that we're being funny and I can look at it later. So I got Andy Dick in there. I got Harlan Williams. They were amazing. They were incredibly funny. Dax brought so many ideas to the table. But what's interesting about Harlan is, for 10 years, the Harlan I knew, even leading up to that movie, was the Harlan I'm sure you knew, which is like, he's just, his brain operates on a different level. He comes up with all this stuff off the cuff, and I would see him at the club for years, and when I'd come into the lobby, and I'd be kind of like, when I'm off stage, I'm pretty like, I'm just off. I'm like, I'm on when I'm on stage. Some people are on all the time. He was on all the time. Yeah. Hey there, buddy. I want to take some Cheez-Its there, buddy, and crumple them up in your hair, and then I want to put a sailor's hat on, and then he'd make like a, and he'd do a weird sound. Yeah. He was like that for years with me, and I tried to have a normal conversation. And every single time I would ask him a serious question, he'd go into this character. And then after like 10 years, and after the movie, I was in the lobby one night, and I remember he just walked in, and I was so used to it, I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he was like, how's it going there, buddy? And it was like a different tone. It was like after 12 years, he finally broke character, and I was like, Harlan. And he's like, yeah, buddy. I go, you want to get dinner? And he's like, yeah, what do you like to eat? And I thought he was going to be like, I like Cheez-Its in the hair, buddy, and then I'm going to... And after that, our friendship just like took off, and he was a real champion of mine. No matter what era I was in, up or down, that guy's always been a real solid in my life. I love him.
Yeah. He and Tom Green are really two peas in a pod.
Another one. I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
Great dude. Just... it doesn't always need to be about show business or comedy. Sometimes it's just a nice word out of nowhere. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so epic.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, we have some viewers to send to Above It All.
Yeah. I hope that they have a great time with it. I'm really, really stoked.
Yeah. I wonder...
Can we see your balls on camera?
See the right one. The left one's probably asleep. I put the left one in a little cozy.
It's cuddling my other ball.
The right one has a tattoo. That's how fucking like that one thought it was on a solo mission, so it just like was like, all right, I got this.
It's like the twins in the belly. One ate the other one and it got bigger.
Yeah.
I describe it as like the small one is the moon of Endor and the big one's the Death Star.
I'm into it.
A little bit too much on the visual on that one, but
all right. Quick question: should we hold this until the week after October 26th so that it's absolutely on DaneCook.com?
It'll be on DaneCook.com for sure next Thursday, Friday. So it's up to you. I'm totally down with whatever you guys want to do. If you think it's better for next week, cool. If you want to hold it because of your own agenda, then it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even have an agenda.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
We're good.
And okay, so social media handles, anything else that we want to promote?
Everything is pretty much the hub of all my social media. I like TikTok.
Wow.
I'm on TikTok.
MySpace?
Am I still on MySpace? I wonder if it's still somewhere. Do you think that I could somehow... Tequila is still in there, just walking around.
For sure.
I wish it was someplace that you could go in and log into those old messages. Everything is pretty much the hub. I like TikTok because... I like their live program.
Yeah.
Like when you go live, you feel like your fans are really finding you in real time. So at Dane Cook, pretty much on everything, but TikTok is where it's at.
At Dane Cook on all the social media platforms, DaneCook.com.
For the special and all the other tour info for 2023, man. I hope we're crossing paths so we can check out each other's gigs. That would be really fun.
Above It All. is something. It sounds so fucking crazy to film.
Let's just edit that you've already seen it and just be like, dude, it's fucking awesome.
I mean,
It's the best I've ever seen.
Give me that link, and when I film the intro to this podcast, I can say
I'll send it tonight.
I hadn't seen it before, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'll send it tonight.
Dude, thank you for the love and support over the years, and you look great.
Thanks,
you
bud.
fucking sound great. I'm
You too,
super
man.
stoked.
You look great and you're killing it. So
Well,
continued success to you, Wendy, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
this
my
was
career.
Awesome. What's my cut?
Man, I had Wendy the whole time. Such a good girl.
That was great.
That was fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. If you don't love Dane Cook now, then you're just a bad person. Because what a great guy. And again, I cannot ever stop feeling grateful for how much he helped me launch what's now a crazy career in comedy. I'm on my own tour bus over here, and I credit Dane Cook for launching me onto this path. Really, really grateful for him, and I'm really, really grateful for you. Scott Randolph has been on tour with me for the last week or so. And we keep saying it, man. Something about this podcast is clicking. It's blowing up. People are hounding Scott Randolph for photos. It's crazy. Chicks are like, man, I love Scott Randolph. I'm like, well, he is single. I am not. I love you. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Thank you to everybody who mentions the street team after my shows. Can't get enough of it. Super grateful. I love you all, and thank you for watching. Yeah. All right. And we're good to go?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Aoki. Yeah, dude. Now you've met Scott Randolph.
Sir.
What's up, Scott?
You've met Vinny.
What's up, dude? Nice to meet you.
Man, off to a crazy start. We show up, setting up the podcast, and someone comes over to the bus and says, Steve's about to get into a cold plunge, and he wants to know if you want to join him. Like, how am I going to say no to that?
That's what it takes to get you in a cold plunge nowadays. Steve Aoki.
I mean, nowadays.
I was surprised you didn't do it. You haven't done it yet. I was like, wow, Steve-O hasn't done a cold plunge. Out of all the crazy shit you've done, I'm like, he hasn't done a cold plunge. I'm like, this is awesome. I got to do the first one with you, you know?
Right. I mean, I've jumped into cold water.
For sure.
Before.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first things I ever did way back in the day was extreme ice skating, where I went out on a frozen river skating in a tutu until I fell through the ice. But yeah, that 5 minutes. By the end of that 5 minutes, I was not.
You did the whole 5.
I did the whole 5. Dude, he wouldn't let me. He had me in a rear naked choke over here.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt you try to like slide out towards the end. I'm like, nah, man, you're going back in.
I mean, dude, I don't understand how that can be good for you.
Well, how do you feel now?
I feel great now. Yeah. Now, on a regular basis, you do 5 minutes.
Yeah, we do like 4 or 5 minutes. I feel like at some point it's a diminishing returns.
Yeah.
But, I don't really do it for like the inflammation, which is a big reason why you should do it. The muscle inflammation, all that stuff. But I do it just for the chaos in my mind and how to control that and find calm in it. And,
all right.
And then obviously there's like, your mitochondria is fucking moving. Your cells are going like crazy. Your immune system is getting boosted. And all that good stuff inside.
Cold plunges are having a moment where a lot of people are broadcasting to the world that they're so good for you. So,
I mean, I'm a believer in extreme cold exposure, also extreme heat exposure. So like just saunas on a regular basis. I think saunas are even better than a cold plunge, as far as health benefits.
Okay.
Do you have a sauna at your house too?
Dude, we came out of
We
the
were
sauna.
roasting. We were like
Well, then there you go.
basically turkeys in the oven.
Yeah.
We were roasting. But yeah, man, that's it's just great, man. I really appreciate how like just ready to go you were as soon as we met. Like, let's do this, let's do that.
Well, you're Steve-O, man. I mean, I've been watching you do the craziest shit like on TV forever. So I'm like, I gotta get to your level, you know, at least a little bit.
I love that. You got a huge foam pit in the house. We both did gainers off of the platform into the foam pit. They hit the skateboard ramp. It's an epic. We did Aoki jumps in the studio. I'm so surprised that out of all those Polaroids on the wall that I'm the only one.
You're the only one. Yeah. And no one has to do it.
Yeah. Bunch of bitch ass pussies. Yeah, dude. How old are you?
45.
45. Okay. I'm soon to be 49.
Wow.
Yeah. You're aging a lot better than I am, man.
No.
And I'm not aging terribly, but you're doing really well.
What's it like to be at the last year of your 40s? Because 50 sounds so old. You know what I mean? Like, 40s is like, okay, that's like old, but it's not old. Like 50 is just fucking old. Like,
right.
I'm like 5 years from that, so I'm trying to savor every single fucking day I have. I don't want to be fucking 50. That's too fucking scary. So like, what's that like, man?
I mean, dude, I've got this tour that I was telling you about, and I come out on stage, I say, you know, I don't expect you guys to know this, but I'm in a really bad situation. I'm Steve-O in my 40s. And like, it gets laughed. But if I were to do the same line and say I'm Steve-O in my 50s, then it has stopped being funny.
It just hits different.
Yeah, it hits different. And so I'm wrapping up this tour, and my next tour is the whole show is going to be like kind of an examination of how I'm confronting middle age.
Yeah.
And becoming actually old.
Right.
I'm lashing out at father time.
Like, obviously, your body, it is different. Like, it heals differently. You feel that, or?
It's not the same as it used to be. I definitely need to retire from doing backflips.
Okay.
Even that gainer we just did in your house, I came up so short and just landed on my face.
That's the great thing about the foam pit, though. You know what I mean? Like, you can land short, so.
But hey, man, we get older, and that's what happens. Are your Aoki jumps getting lower?
I don't know. Your jump was pretty high, 49.
Well, thanks, man. 48 at the moment.
Yeah. It was that ice bath, dude.
Yeah, the ice bath, yeah.
I mean, you might need to incorporate some of that. I mean, if you know, for like just limberness. And like,
you know, do you do yoga?
Yeah, I mean, I do it like, I kind of do like the 10-minute yoga before I work out.
Okay.
So it's more like stretching.
That sounds good for me, man. I'm terrified of yoga.
Yeah, why?
It's just like, whenever I've done it, I've found the experience to be so miserable that I just can't stand doing it. I dread the idea of it.
Because you can't stretch well, or you can't?
Yeah, I can't stretch well. I mean, I don't know. You've done it with me.
I hate it.
Hate it.
You don't like it either?
And
I hate it so much that I'm like so pissed off at the teacher while we're doing it, but like I realize it's my fault. That I think
it's
I hate it because
your fault. It's 100% your fault.
I because I suck so bad.
And one step worse is that everything about the miserable experience is my body crying out that it needs me to do yoga. It's like me not doing yoga because I don't like the experience is like if I were to floss my teeth and my gums bled, and I said, flossing makes my gums bleed, better not do that.
Yeah, exactly.
When in fact, the gums bleeding is them crying out because you need to floss.
That's a good example. It's so true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when my gums bleed, I'm like, fuck, I gotta do this more. Because I don't do as much either.
Oh, yeah, I floss so... Dude, I used to be one of these people who cannot get away with not flossing, and as such just has this bacteria. You know that bacteria if you smell it in people's mouths?
Yes, that's true. I was just talking about that.
Yeah, no amount of brushing.
Like, if I kiss a girl, like I could almost. I'm like, please floss. I just want to say like, please floss, without saying.
I know.
Because it's there. You can smell the. It's like when you do the floss and you smell the line.
Smell the floss. Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, and then you're like, you smell on someone's breath. It's because they didn't floss.
It's because they didn't floss. It's so gnarly. And our society is structured such that it is not acceptable to tell somebody hey man, I need to talk to you as a friend. Like, I'm just telling you, you gotta floss.
Somebody told me that Colgate has like a thing you can call in, and they'll secretly send a package to the person and say, "Hey, somebody reported you as having bad breath." Wow.
But it's not even bad breath, because bad breath comes from inside you, like, and it blows out. This is just a dead animal sitting in your mouth that just crawled behind your tooth and died.
I think about that all the time. Here's other fun fact I learned. The plaque in your mouth that stays there actually can seep through your gums into your brain.
It causes
an
heart
infection.
disease.
Amyloid beta plaques that eventually cause Alzheimer's and
God, that's so gnarly.
dementia and all that. All like the plaques between your
Wow.
synapses, right? So like your synapses are firing, remembering where your keys are, and then you have plaque buildup and you just don't remember anymore because.
I understood.
That's kind of crazy.
I
Saunas
understood
take
there
that
was
away.
heart disease.
Saunas,
Saunas take the plaque.
That's what the research says is that saunas, like being in a hot, extreme heat exposure, creates these heat shock proteins that cut through the plaque. So I get very excited about that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm over here freaking out. I haven't flossed in like a decade.
I mean, dude,
Shut up.
I've never-
Next time you kiss someone, like, you might be like,
It's been a
about-
long time since I've flossed. It's been a very long time.
I can tell you that I have not smelled that bacteria coming out of your mouth.
Okay, great.
Have you been
And you
really
would tell me.
close, or
Have you been really honest?
Yeah.
Scott and I made a pact when we started working together almost 10 years ago that if either of us smell that on each other, that like
Give him a heads up, dude.
bro code is you
Yeah.
gotta tell me.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think
Yeah.
it's like if you start off with a preface like I'm not saying this to be mean.
Right.
I'm saying this to benefit you.
Right. Right. I remember a dentist telling me that. I went to a dentist, he told me that, and then I just realized, oh my God, that's why people have told me, dude, your breath. And I'm like, I just brushed my teeth. They're like, yeah, but your breath. You know? And one time I got in the van with the Jackass guys, and Wee Man says, dude, Steve-O, your breath. And then Noxo says, saying Steve-O has bad breath is like saying Wee Man is short.
Wow.
It was gnarly, and people would tell me like your breath, and I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And then when the dentist told me that one time in 2009, I don't think I've had that ever since. I'm very vigilant about my oral hygiene. Water pick, floss,
Wow.
brush, tongue scrape.
The tongue
Mouth
scrape
one.
is like something I don't do.
Oh, dude, it's a big one.
Yeah. But what? But like, I mean, obviously it scrapes all the bacteria and gross stuff off your tongue. But is that something you should do so it doesn't build up over time? Or
I just think the bacteria building up on your tongue is a threat to your breath.
yeah.
And anybody who knows me knows that when they hear violent gagging,
It's the worst.
that's me. Because I go to scrape my tongue so far back that I violently gag every time I do it.
4 a.m. on a tour bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a fascinating discussion. But what I want to know, I've seen you do Aoki jumps like on private jets, and do you have a top Aoki jump? And apologies if that's such a generic question.
No, it's not. It's actually I don't think I've ever been asked that question, and it's like my thing. I've done more than what I've numbered because I number them.
Yeah.
I've numbered them from 2012 since like the beginning of Instagram I started. So right, like I think the first month of Instagram was my first Aoki jump. It was in Miami on the beach. I remember that. And I've done over like 1,000, 1,100 or something that I've documented. It's hard to pick a favorite one. I did so many. A lot of them
Private
was
jet. Pretty sick.
yeah. Oh yeah, on top of the private jet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. I did one in a hospital because I hurt my neck, and I
Okay.
did one like while I was in the gurney. So it was a fake jump. I had my feet up like this, I had, like the neck brace on in Puerto Rico after I screwed my neck up really bad from jumping off this DJ booth, and so I remember that one just because the experience was so like
Yeah.
you know.
On the private jet one, like that had to have been I mean, did they check out the jet after you did that to make sure that the jet wasn't compromised? I mean, if you figure if some guy's jumping on the wing, like, I don't want to get in there and fly this thing.
I've done it a few times where I'm on top of the jet.
Right.
So I've been like climbed on the wing and then climbed on the very, very top, and then I jumped, and then, yeah, of course, like, you know, I'm asking the permissions and making sure, like, is this like cool? Is this like, you know, and they're like, it's totally fine. So, you know. We were able to do it. And these are like small airports with like probably a lot less restrictions and regulations, you know.
Man, we met up with the pilot and talked to, we actually met him at the airport, and I was like, hey dude, I want to duct tape myself to a plane. And that we were initially, before we did, it was the billboard truck, and I was driving down the highway duct taped to it. It was supposed to be an airplane, and I was duct taped to it. And the guy ended up getting cold feet after agreeing to it. Like,
well, he was down as fuck, and then when we actually showed up at the plane with the stunt guy, the stunt coordinator, and like 3 other people, he was like, you could just see, like, he's like, I can't lose my pilot's license for this. Like, this is, you know.
So I had a story like this. So I was on a plane, and this pilot is the homie. He was awesome, and he was, you know, we're flying up in the air, and he's like, yo, look to the right. And then we look to the right, then boom, the plane just does a flip. A private plane doing a full-on flip.
Like they call it a barrel roll?
A barrel roll.
Okay,
a barrel roll. And we're like, whoa, shit, this is crazy. Yo, and then we're like, can you do it again? We got to film it.
Oh, wait. The plane you were in did the barrel roll.
Yeah. So we're like going
weird.
up, and then he's like, yo, look to the right. Like, look outside. And then boom, he does a barrel roll. And then we go, I'm like, yo, can you do it again? 'Cause he's like, he was so cool. And then he goes out, and I'm like, can we do it again? We want to film it this time. And then he does it again. And then, you know, I put it up on the gram, you know, and then poor guy lost his license. For sure.
Oh, man, bummer.
I felt so bad about that because he was the best pilot I ever. He was just so cool.
Damn.
You know, like, you know, the guy would just like do like stuff like that, and you know, you don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want to get him in trouble.
Yeah, of
you know what I
course
mean?
not.
Like he's not doing anything like, you know, that he can't.
He kind of is.
Yeah, but, you know, he can handle it. You know,
Right.
But, I mean, I did a Red Bull stunt plane once, like with Carrie Chambliss, and that was. I mean, we did like 30 barrel rolls.
Yeah.
We did front flips. We did like going up and drop, and then turning off the engine, and then him like falling down, and then flipping all the way down and going straight down as if like, now I know what it feels like to go nosedive and die.
Yeah.
And then coming back out of that through, you know, 6 Gs up. Like, that was one of the most epic bucket list items for sure for me.
I feel like that jerk that has to one up everybody, but
I know you're right, man. I mean, this is like kind of like, I'm telling the story so I can hear yours.
well, no, I mean, like, I think that it's a little bit different. Yeah, like, I didn't do as much cool stunts as you just described, but when we were in Russia filming Wild Boys, which was actually the final ever Wild Boys trip, I got in a Russian MiG fighter jet and went faster than the speed of sound.
Oh my God.
All the way to the edge of the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Where, like, it was not a cloud in the sky, like, blue, it was noon, fully sunny day, and we went up to the point where it was just straight dark, and I was looking at the Earth from darkness, still within the Earth's atmosphere, and I remember I asked the pilot, does this make me an astronaut? And the pilot, this Russian, goes, yes. Yes. And Chris Pontius went on to dispute that. He said, if you go to the edge of a woman's pussy, you're still a virgin.
This is why you're on TV. This is exactly why you're on TV. You say funny, stupid shit like this. It's like too fucking good. It's too fucking good. Oh my God.
But on the way back down, we did do barrel rolls.
That's sick.
You know, there wasn't like.
Did you do any G's?
I mean, dude, like, out of the whole experience, because I hate roller coasters, I hate, like, you know, but out of the whole experience, it was just a claustrophobia issue, because it was just such a tiny space that we were in. Like,
That's got to be one of the coolest
I
things
don't
you've
mind
ever
the
done.
Dust
Though.
Bowl.
It's definitely
Up there, top.
It's definitely.
Yeah.
When you went up to the
so-
edge, was the Earth flat or was there curvature?
Oh, dude, total curvature. And I remember posting the footage of it, I took this photo from, and saying about the flat Earth people. So I think I can kind of set this to rest, and they were like, "Fish Island," the flat Earth thing. I mean, we just got back from Australia, and we're going back to Australia again. I want to know what the flat Earth people, when we're leaving from LA. And we're going the opposite direction because going the other way around the globe is, right? Wouldn't that?
Or time zones?
There's a lot. There's a lot there. Like you just
right. But let's not waste our time with that. So I was watching this Wall Street Journal interview that I think it was probably fairly recent. And it was fascinating. And this guy who was interviewing you, he's like, so when you're making like $500,000 per night, per show, like how can these casinos justify? And I just thought, wow, that guy kind of went straight into the money question. And you were so cool and candid about it. You know,
it's Wall Street Journal. This is like what they think about is like money. Everything is finance or economy or I don't mind that at all. You know?
It's crazy.
Actually it's a really good question that he did ask.
Right.
Because you think about this money that gets paid, these really high fees that get paid to artists or comedians or whatever. Right. Right. And it all has to make sense. It all has to even out. Of course, you take the risks as a promoter or as a casino or as booking a DJ or anyone.
Right.
And you think they're gonna bring in this amount of number, and it doesn't, and then you lose money, but you don't book them again.
Right.
That's just what happens. And then you get better at who you end up booking.
I would have guessed. If somebody posed that question to me about DJs and just how insane the amount of money they're paid is, my mind would go to the insane amount of money that Netflix pays to a Dave Chappelle
or a Chris Rock
or a Chris Rock or a
which is how much?
I mean, dude,
But it did three. Dave Chappelle did 3 for $100 million.
I thought it was 3 for 60. So that's 20 million per special.
Yeah, but didn't they just give 20 million to Chris Rock for that
I heard
one?
they gave him 40.
And then riding in cars with comedians did a lot.
Right. And now in that scenario, I gotta believe that you can't justify that payout on money that it's bringing in, that it's really more in a bigger picture sense. They're trying to invest in their brand and have that cachet and that prestige of having done that, and that it's way long term down the line that they expect that to actually pay
That's
back.
the music side of things. For example, Rolling Stones, when they do shows, the promoter, you know how much they get when they do a show? If they pick a promoter, because they have to pick someone to organize their show,
like an AEG or a Live Nation.
Yeah, but they usually pick someone else. They only give that person 1%.
Okay.
And that person's going to take it, and they're basically making nothing, but they're doing the Rolling Stones show.
Right.
And having that Rolling Stones show, they could do a bunch of other things, and they have the access and the relationships built on that. You have to be you can't just be a random going, I'll do it, it's 1%. You have to be the top to even book a Rolling Stones show.
Right.
But, Dave Matthews Band, a lot of these groups, they know their worth, and so they can command that dollar amount, and there's no one bigger. There's no one bigger than Chris Rock right now after what happened.
Right.
So it's he could command it, and it's a huge in this case it's a marketing push going, okay, well this is going to get everyone in.
Right.
Well,
and maybe it does.
I heard Jay-Z gets 120% of the door. So he makes the money. No, what I mean by that is he gets the parking lot money, he gets the concession stands, and then they get whatever left over because he's bringing. I mean, what's the Rose Bowl? I mean, that's massive,
right?
And all the parking that.
See,
comes
I could
with
be
that.
even wrong with the Rolling Stones, because this is like what I've heard just from like the game of telephone. It could be like 0.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a 0. You know, like you just have to do the
An
show
accolade.
for free.
I think that the question becomes like what's going on with the food and beverage, you know, like the beer money, the hot dogs, you know, the merch, like all that going on. But I think that you know, again, what I would guess is that when you've got like one of these big Las Vegas casinos paying you an insane amount of money, it's because the Las Vegas casino like ecosystem is like a game of who's the cool kid, you know, like what table did the cool kids sit at, and by having Steve Aoki at that casino, that gives that casino
The bragging
that
rights.
shine,
Yeah.
that prestige, and that makes that casino the one that people think is the cool one that they want to go and put their money into when they come to Vegas.
And well, here's the thing too with Vegas, the casinos generally don't operate the clubs. In one case, Resorts World, they operate Zouk.
Okay.
So like they're involved, they're hand in hand. But like for me, for example, I'm with Tao Group, and Tao Group has Hakkasan, which is inside MGM,
Okay.
Omnia, which is inside Caesar's Palace. There are 2 competing casinos. So.
Right.
And then they have Tao, and they have Marquee, which is inside Cosmopolitan. So they manage a bunch of different clubs, and they have partnerships with those casinos. But they are essentially, they're the one footing the bill, and it's 100% not a marketing thing. They have
Okay.
to make money off these DJs.
There you go.
You have to. And if the DJs aren't bringing in what they expected them to bring in, when that contract's up,
Then-
they're not gonna be most likely not playing with them. You know,
Good.
and so that's what happens. Like I've seen it. You know, because I've had a residency in Vegas since 2010, and I started with the Wing Group. And I was there for 4 years. 2014, I moved over to Hakkasan Group, and I was DJing it for Hakkasan, and Hakkasan and opened up Omnia at Caesars. So now I've been with them for 10 years, and you know, I just seen the DJs that like had the shine, they had their moment with their song or whatever record that blew them up, and then they couldn't follow up with it for whatever reason. And Vegas is the most important thing to know about Vegas is it's not a trend-setting city. You don't break records here.
Right.
You don't break moments here. They have to already be broken. That's why you have the Celine Dion's and the Adeles and the Bruno Mars and Britney Spears, and like you have to have already made it, because you don't like it's the lowest. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say lowest hanging fruit, but it's like people are here just to have a good time. They don't necessarily I already know when they come to a Steve Aoki show, I already assume they know maybe one song, and they don't even know the name of it.
Right.
You know, they're just coming. They're like, "Yo, Aoki's crazy. He's like throwing cakes." And I don't throw cakes in Vegas, but you know, he's just like, you know, like I keep my entertainment level really high level everywhere I go, not just for Vegas, but just because I enjoy it. But
Sure.
yeah, but it resonates over time, you know. And so, at the end of the day, you know, you have to think like the club, the room of Las Vegas, is a room that just wants to have a good time, and you have to truly be a DJ, more of a DJ and less of an artist. Whereas at a festival, you're more of an artist, less of a DJ. And what I mean by that is like when you're an artist, you play all your unreleased music, all your records, all the songs that define you musically. The songs that aren't necessarily like the big records that the culture knows, you know.
Right.
And like the songs that are pushing the needle for like that genre. And then as a DJ, you have to read the room and go
Please the crowd.
Yes. And it's not necessarily like I do play my music, of course I have to. But I'm like thinking about how to get everyone's attention at all times.
Right.
And if I lose that like their attention, I have to figure out how to get it back with a surprise, with something that's familiar, you know,
Right.
with some kind of moment that I can do outside of the music. you know, and that's why I think about like the cakes and like I used to do a raft, and I used to raft over the crowd.
Yeah.
And I used to do some Steve-O jumps from like really high into the raft, you know, like things like that. So
Right.
Why don't you throw cakes in Vegas?
because it's messy and they don't want to deal with the liability.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to deal with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my show is like I haven't done cakes here in probably 5 years, maybe longer.
Yeah.
And it's still like a pretty, you know, it's a solid show. So
Yeah.
like I don't need the cakes here, although I have like the cake me signs up, you know. But yeah, that's why I get excited to tour everywhere else, you know.
For sure.
Thank you for asking that, because I was dying to know why you don't throw cakes in Vegas. And thank you for clarifying, like, the reality here. It's fascinating that there's just that much money coming in, and that it's not the difference between marketing and business is that's a really good distinction, and I'm glad that you made it. And man. What's the capacity when you're doing a Hakkasan gig in Vegas?
Hakkasan is small. Hakkasan, I feel like, I could be wrong, it's 2,000 to 3,000 or something like that, but it does feel like more intimate. Omnia is it's that club that's got the chandelier that comes down. It looks like you're in like a spacecraft kind of thing. It's a like incredible like alien probe that comes down. That I think they spent like $150 million building that club too. It's like the most opulent, most insane looking club on the planet. That club's quite big. I think it's like 4,000 or 5,000 or something like that. And then there's like What Republic, which I play quite a lot. It's like pool parties here, and those pool parties can be really big too. I think in the thousands, obviously.
Wow. So, I mean, just doing the math, like, people, they got to be charging people quite a bit to even get in there, huh?
I think girls just generally get in for free.
Nice.
You know, I think that's just how it works here. And the tables are the money generators. You know,
Okay.
GA, general admission. They fill it up, and you know, I'm not sure how much they charge. I don't think it's like an exorbitant amount of money. And I mean, if you buy a table and you're spending lots of, you know, whatever, you know, that's how they're able to make like sometimes $1 million a day, $1 million a night. So it's like, yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
To take the comparison between DJs and comedy, I'm a guy who was known for Jackass. Then all of a sudden I start doing stand-up. And there are other people who have come from other areas and then moved over into stand-up. And it's always kind of like some resistance, like, what's this guy doing, you know? And clearly people have done that with DJing as well. But again, my uneducated observation is that when you're doing stand-up comedy, it is a lonely place to be. If you're on stage, just you and a microphone and a whole bunch of people, if you don't have the goods for those people, then your like time doing stand-up comedy is not gonna last. You know, you kind of like, so I think that there's less of a reason to give people a hard time for getting into stand-up, because it's whether you got it or you don't that's gonna be the question. But I imagine being a DJ that resistance to celebrity DJs might be a little bit more justified, because people could be up there just hit and play, doing nothing.
Well, you know, actually, the actual DJing is not difficult. The actual mixing is not difficult. That doesn't take that much time. I think you could say the same thing about skateboarding. It's not difficult. It's not difficult to ollie.
Yeah, it is. It's not easy to learn how to ollie.
Well, I mean, if you were to tell a kid, do this over and over and over and over and over again for a month, and you'll ollie.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, it's not difficult to play guitar.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, you could learn a whole song in a month. If you do it and you watch a YouTube tutorial and you just play the whole thing over and over and over again. It's not difficult to play drums and get the matching down with your kick on your foot and the timing with your hi-hat. You just have to do it again and again. I think with mixing and listening to music and all that stuff, it's like, and the buttons, it might look kind of
daunting.
A lot. You know, when you stare at this thing at a mixing board, even like producing music, all these things. And I know people like are saying, well, DJing is supposed to be easy. Yes, it is. That's not the hard part. The hard part is standing in front of a crowd and playing music. Like, here's the other thing. I'm gonna rewind. So a lot of people think that DJing, that most DJs don't DJ. They just push one button and it just plays and they just up there like this.
I don't believe that.
Okay, I know. Well, like to answer that question to those people, it's too easy to just learn. Like, you know, like pressing one button and then like faking it is like, I think it's more difficult because you have to like pretend and you have to like do all this other stuff that you don't even know what you're doing. That's harder. It's more boring. Like, I want to be doing something that's actually tweaking the sound, doing something. And then, yes, once I press play on one of the CDJs, it's playing, right? So when it's playing and I'm not mixing, then I can go grab my cake and I can cake someone.
Okay.
You know, and then like the song ends, I'm like, hey, that's okay. I just cake someone, I'm walking back to stage, everyone's cool. Then I get back on and I like play the next song. But essentially, the act of DJing is not a difficult thing. And it's more about curating your set, making sure it's like a story that you're trying to tell, you know, musical story that you're trying to tell. The mixing part, you could actually get better and better and better at mixing and making it seamless. And so when you want to get the technical detail of the mix and you're listening to a mix and you can hear like when certain things, like when the treble, like when certain sounds come in and certain, you know, sounds are coming out in a certain way. If you're listening to that detail, then you're like, wow. And that's when you go into these more like all night raves and techno parties where, you know, you're in there for 6 hours. Like, it's all about that mix and feeling that emotional drive. It is a psychology. It is a psychology for sure.
Do you ever DJ for 6 hours?
I've done like a 14-hour set.
Wow.
Holy
Is that
shit.
one of your Guinness World plaques?
No, that's like, oh my God, that's nothing for
Okay.
DJs. Especially for like techno DJs and house DJs, like on the regular, like if you're in that space, you're like, you have to be doing 5 to 8 hour, 10-hour sets. So, but like it's, you know, just like everything, just like in comedy, just like in music genres, there's so many genres within EDM.
Yeah.
And the genre that Steve Aoki is known for is like pure EDM. It's like, it's entertaining. It's an entertainment dance music, almost, like want to call it like that. And I'm putting like a full on, like, I'm like a Ferrari. We're going like fucking in the red the entire time. Like, I'm going to push it all the way. My set is generally 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Right.
And pushing it just means the beats just boom,
I mean,
boom.
there is a web and flow, but when I push it, it's like, it's maximal. It's like it's like I want to completely, like, my whole point is if I can get people like just rip their shirts off and fucking scream because they just want to
handle it.
feel that moment. If I could see that happening, I did my job, you know, like it's supposed to, like, I'm trying to get like you out of your skin.
And that
you know?
matters on the BPMs, the beats per minute.
Not really, because I do it across the board. You could make someone feel that way at 120. 128 is like my core BPM tempo, but I go as high as 170, 150, 160, like, you know, and that's also just like bouncy music. I don't know if you want to call it that, but you know, but
When you're up there, are you like looking at somebody like, I'm gonna get this guy to fucking take his shirt off, dude? Like,
it already happens. It already happens, you know. I mean, my shirt's off. Halfway through the set, my shirt's off.
Well,
I'm
I
also
mean,
very
yeah,
sweaty.
for good reason. I mean, like, we get in the sauna too, and I'm like, man, like, I'm flabby. You're not flabby at all, dude. It's impressive. You said that the artist versus the DJ. It sounded to me like you were saying the artist is the one creating music, original music,
Right.
that they make themselves. Whereas
Yeah.
a DJ is more curating just the music that's in the ether already.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So, and when we were in your house, I saw like 4 billion streams on Spotify. Was that's a pretty badass plaque.
Yeah.
That's epic. And that presumably is for music that you created, original music from scratch.
Yes, yeah. Mainly originals, and then, sampling like classics and remixing them. But generally, it's originals.
When you sample classic music into your original music, like that means that you're splitting the publishing, like the music revenue with that,
Yeah.
the owner of that or that sample.
Well, I'll give you an example. So my last record, I just dropped it last weekend. It's called Wild,
Okay.
based on Born to Be Wild. Born to be
Yeah.
wild.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, exactly. So I took that sample, Born to Be Wild. I did it with these incredible DJs called Vinny Vici, and put on the Psytrance drop, and it's a banger at the shows. Everyone's just jumping, going crazy to it. Now, when you go to the back end of that record, 100% of the publishing went to Steppenwolf.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't always go like that, but some people are like, if you're going to use our sample, we're going to give you nothing, and you're going to like it.
Like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, so we're lucky to even give it to you, kind of thing.
Wow.
So I mean, I've done that before, where 100% of the pub goes to them, and even though I did that with Popcorn as well. Popcorn's like this really classic sample by Gershon Mosley that eventually got remade by Hot Buttered. It's a 1967 sample, like dun 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 dun. I don't know if you know this one, but like that's like the first electronic melody as far as like 1967.
Wow.
And that's I was lucky to even clear that song. We had to send Popcorn, the name is, to the estate every single week. I was sending Popcorn. My label was sending Popcorn to the estate because he doesn't receive emails. He can only like knock on his door or call him.
Wow.
And
Some
he finally
Bill Murray
cleared
stuff.
it, but he's like, it's 100%. Like you get zero pub.
That
It's one of my
sounds
big
to me. That sounds to me like the artist who does the Super Bowl halftime gets paid nothing, but it's just so much exposure
Yeah.
that it's always worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're sampling Born to Be Wild on the song, I mean, it's kind of guaranteed to be such a banger.
Yeah.
That like it benefits you like doing the Super Bowl halftime show. You want to have a hit.
Even though the actual amount of time on the total track
Right.
is maybe in total with both times he sings it is maybe like 6 seconds
And
or 8 seconds.
and it doesn't loop.
No,
it only happens
says,
twice.
It says one time before the first drop, and the second time we glitch out his voice so you could barely even tell he's saying it. So you could really only hear the one time, but it's such a strong sample, and we don't want to not use it. Like we could have easily just put on like another sample that's free,
Right.
but like the sample's too good. So
Do you ask permission, or do you try to get clearance before you make the song, or do you go ahead and make the song first and then show it to them?
yeah.
You can do that, and when like here's another example with I think like a Rolling Stones is that it's like you can do that, but then like they'll come after you, right? And they're gonna take all the pub. So if you do it beforehand, you can actually try to negotiate. And so in some cases where I've like taken a really strong sample, I've taken at least like maybe like 10, 15, 20% of the pub because I did a sizable production to
I
it.
think what he's asking though is not putting it out, but just making the
Yeah,
song.
just making the song, so
Say,
it's-
hey, I have this song to put out. What do
Look
you
how
think?
rad it is.
Yeah, look how rad it is.
Do I have your
Okay,
permission?
so I'll give you another example. So I made a record with Dimitri Vegas, who's a good friend of mine from Europe, and we sampled the White Lotus theme.
Oh wow, okay.
And we didn't ask any permission at all to Netflix or White Lotus at all. We just put it out, and then they took it down. It was up for a month. It literally it was number one.
Up where?
It was up on Spotify,
Okay.
Apple, everything, and it got number 1 in this website called 1001 track lists, which shows all the DJs playing this record. So everyone was playing our White Lotus theme sample house record because it's a great track. It works so good. The sample's so interesting and weird, whether you watch the show or not.
Right.
And for like a month, it was number 1 most played by all DJs around the world, being recorded by this website. And it didn't matter, so they just took it down. Like, no, you're out.
They took it down and demanded the publishing money?
No, they just took it down.
So they just took it down. I mean, in the world of artificial intelligence, they had to have known about it right away.
But Tiesto's version's still up there because he got cleared. So
Okay.
I was like, because I remember we had this conversation, me and the other producer on the record, and we're like, we should clear this thing, right? Because it's so good, you know. And he's like, well, if we clear it, it's gonna take months, and then the show's over, so
Right.
the hype's gone. So we're like, let's just fucking run with it. So we
And there was no penalty for running.
yeah,
it.
we just did it, and it was cool for the moment, and you know, and like the talk on White Lotus is over, and the sample's cool, but like I'm not really playing it anymore. So it was like good for its moment.
All right. With collabing with other artists, is there ever like a Rolling Stones kind of a situation where they like I'll collab with you on a track, but I get all the pub? Is that like
No, I haven't seen that, because like if we're both working on the record, like you can't really.
right?
But actually, I haven't really experienced this that deep. But when there's a lot of writers, then it can be like, well, I did this much, you know, because
Right.
like on some records there might be like 8 writers,
Right.
because it's not just whoever's producing the music, but you have the melody writers, the actual lyrical writers, the singer that might have written like maybe a lyric, because all you have to write is one. You can write the.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, let's change this to and to the. Like, you could literally write just something a little bit different, and you get a piece of the pub, right? So,
Right.
and like all of that comes into play, and then it's just sometimes a mess. And then also egos and like
Right.
who's a bigger name and things like that. And I don't deal with any of that stuff. So
There's a
I'm
blessing.
I'm sure like that's been a hurdle that my management had to jump over. On stuff like that.
That's great. That's great news that you don't have to deal with that. On the Tribe Called Quest album that came out, it was like their first album in I don't know how many years, but they had Elton John. Not only did they sample one of Elton John's classic tunes, it's a Wall of Sound, but they also had Elton John record in the studio singing
Wow.
on. So it was both double dip,
Wow.
sample and feature.
Yeah. I didn't know he was featured on a Tribe Called Quest. That's
Dude,
crazy.
and it's the most incredible song. That album is so damn good.
Wow.
It's wild, and I would love to know what it took to both sample and get the feature.
Yeah,
I can
'cause
picture that being a 100% pub situation.
Yeah.
I have so many records that I've done with amazing artists that never came out. Like, we
Wow.
have finished songs that just from management, from the record label saying, no, this doesn't fit within the timeline, and then time goes by, and then the song just kind of gets stuck in this back burner. I'm like, what about this great song we made? You know, and it's just gone. It's like gone in the dust. And these are great moments with amazing artists that would, you know, the fans from both the artists, I mean, fans all over the place would absolutely love to hear. And it like hurts my soul sometimes when I like think about that. You know?
Didn't Michael Jackson like continue putting out music like for years and years after he died because there were so many situations like that?
Like Prince has so much.
I bet.
Like music in the archives too.
So you're with a record label.
I have my own label.
There you go.
Attaboy.
Attaboy.
Yeah, so I was with the label for 10 years, and when I didn't have the money to foot the bill on because when you do an album, I've done 7 studio albums, and each album, they're all features with different singers or bands or artists or other producers. It's costly, 6 figures to 7 figures sometimes, on cost, on paying out and making sure that everyone's paid out before even and cleared.
If you're going to spend that much doing it, though, are you then buying out the artist's contribution?
No, they're still like on the master side. I don't know exactly what the deals look like, but on the pub, we're sharing. Sometimes the artists don't sing the song. I mean, they sing the song, but they don't write the song.
Right.
So I'm working with the songwriters. But you've been in my house. You see how big my house is. I've had songwriting camps at my house, and we churn out like lots of songs in all those rooms.
Yeah, it sounds a bit to me like movies where like when I do a Jackass movie, I've got my upfront money, and then I've got like the back end percentage.
Yeah.
So like you gotta the budget's going to pay the artist upfront,
yes.
And then they get the back end too.
So the first 10 years of my career, I couldn't afford spending that kind of money, and then like at a label going, okay, we're going to give you this advance, and we're going to pay for all this, and then you're going to get your small percentage at the end. I was like, fine, this is great. Right. And then, but they own my music in perpetuity, forever. But at the time, I was like, you know what? They're paying for it all. I guess it's fine. Now I'm like, yeah. It's like I don't care how much it costs, how much my albums cost. Like my last album was 24 tracks. 21 songs, 25 tracks, 21 tracks with different artists and like 4 or 5 interludes. And I pay for the whole thing myself. I don't care about the costs anymore. It's just like anything, you invest in your own. And now I have the money to do that. And I don't care if it does badly. It's okay. Because it's like I own it. Right. So my label Dimmock owns, I own it. Actually, I own it, and I even licensed to my own label. I even made one more step to know that like I own it personally, and I'm licensing it to my label Dimmock as a license. Yeah. And it's hard for me to think to ever work with a major or another label unless the money was ridiculous. And I just don't care that much anymore. So I'm so happy I have this freedom moving forward. Right.
I've always understood that there's like a little bit of a catch-22 in music, that if you want to become big, you have to have a record deal with a major label. But if you want to really make money, you have to own your music. And that's those are mutually exclusive concepts. So you're kind of screwed in the beginning no matter what.
Yeah, it's true. Because the percentage is so small. And it's hard for these labels to even recoup. Right. Like the idea to recoup is like almost like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I am assuming it's going to be a tiny percentage that they're going to recoup, and they're going to give you a royalty. So whatever advance you get from that major is pretty much the only money you're going to get. I'd say like 99% of the time. I'm just taking a wild guess here.
That reminds me of book publishing. Like I can't imagine ever getting any back end on a book deal, because it's so hard for the publisher to recoup. Yeah. And I've done 2 books.
Right.
With the publishing and the owning your own record, like creating your own music, like how, if you were going to put the money you've made from music that you've created compared to like the personal appearance, revenue from the shows, like how would that, like
what's
how do
that
they
pie
compare?
chart?
Yeah, what's the pie chart?
I'd say live shows, I'm going to be very, very kind of broad. Sure. I'm assuming it's like probably over 80%.
There you go.
Of my income, maybe more. And then I do a lot of endorsement deals, which is also quite high too. Sure. So the music, making my royalties for my music is actually a very small percentage.
That 4 billion streams on Spotify didn't pay shit.
Well, think about this. So I think for every 1 million streams, it's $400.
Wow,
So
that's even worse than YouTube.
Yeah, so to go to 1 billion, it's 4 million, right? 1 billion is 4 million.
That's
400,000.
CPM is cost per millennia, which is 1,000.
That's four. I think it's 4 million. You get $4 million for 1 billion streams. $4 million is not going straight to you. It's split up with whoever owns the master.
Yeah.
And then once it gets to my side, I have to pay my managers.
Sure.
I have to pay my business managers. I have to pay lawyers.
Yeah.
I have to pay all these people, and I have a team.
Yep.
You know, you subsidize all those different costs that I pay. You make, 20%, 30% of the 100. So the reality, and then the taxes on top of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like it sounds like a lot of money, but then when you just dice it up, you realize you're only getting the tail of the fish.
I only just started really paying attention to accounting, and I shouldn't say this, but I'll go ahead and I will. But there was a period of time that we were looking at where the accountants told me that I generated $1.1 million in revenue, but I netted 97,000.
That makes sense. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised at all.
it's gnarly. It's
Is
really
that after tax?
no. I don't even think that's
after tax. You got maybe 50 grand.
Yeah, I mean,
It's after taxes.
Oh, is it after taxes? Okay, Scott.
That would be crazy. 1.1
Yeah.
million and 50 grand.
I know, but now to be fair, we found an inventory discrepancy which did add like another 100. So it was more like 1.1 million to 200.
Right.
But then again, that's still,
And that was in a year.
See, that's a problem.
It took place in a year, yes.
Everyone thinks about 1.1.
that
They're
happened
like,
during a year.
and then you start spending. You're like, I got
Right.
1.1. I could buy this. I could buy that. I could buy this.
Right.
And then the reality is you have 100 grand.
Right.
Like,
It's scary.
It's 100 grand. So maybe you spend like 20 grand. 20 grand tops.
Right.
Like that's your safety spend, not like 400 grand.
Yeah,
Or 300 grand, whatever it is, like
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like how it all just vanishes.
this is why I still fly Spirit.
Do you?
I flew Spirit on the I flew Spirit, like I don't mind it.
That's fantastic.
I mean I fly Spirit, I fly Southwest, I fly all these other airlines, every airline that can get me direct. I don't fly Spirit, just fly Spirit.
Right.
The last time I flew Spirit, I literally was stuck on the tarmac because, there was yelling and crying and screaming going on, and they wouldn't leave the plane. But
that's really cool, man. Can you imagine you're on Spirit Airlines and you're sitting next to Steve Aoki?
Well, if you're sitting next to me, it's impossible to talk to me because I have noise cancellation headphones on. I got this huge eye mask, and then I have a big pillow that I'm already laying against, and then I'm just got a sweater that's kind of hooded over to everything else. So, good luck getting any of my attention. I'm just out. I'm out cold.
That's crazy. And we might want to rethink our air travel. Was it? We spent a boatload of money on air travel last year. I went everywhere on the tour bus. It makes no sense.
It's crazy. It's I think about. I still do private jets, and actually, when I'm in Europe, we just charter a jet for the whole summer. And
oh wow!
Yeah, we just charter it for the whole summer and get a bulk rate on that. I think it's in total 300-400 grand for the whole summer.
That's insane.
Yeah, so that's great for us because Europe is almost like flying across the United States and doing shows, right? But even better because every country is maybe 1 or 2 hours apart.
Right.
So the actual cost of me flying from one country to another is the actual cost maybe $5 grand if you bulk rate it, or $4 grand if you bulk rate it.
Right.
So then I'm able to fly my whole team. I have a bed in the back of the plane. I sleep right away, and that way I get in. I also leave later so I can sleep because one of the main things going on in my life right now is just getting better sleep.
Wow, that's coming up all over the place.
Most
Talk
important
to
thing.
this guy about that. Do you have a way of measuring your sleep stages?
You have a whoop strip.
I got 3 tracking devices. On there.
I'm you got the Aura ring.
You got 3 too.
I've got 2. This isn't an Aura ring.
Oh,
but
I was like, that looks like an Aura ring. Okay, so yeah, you got 2. I got 3. I check them every morning.
how much do we love Whoop? Or are you?
I'm a big whooper. I love Whoop. Whoop. It's interesting. Whoop and the Apple Watch, because they're on the wrist. They give me both very similar data. Aura gives me different data.
Okay.
It gives me like worse data.
What do you mean worse data?
I mean, probably better data, but like worse. Like the information's not good. You know, like my RAM is always fucking piss poor.
So you're saying that you're getting conflicting accounts of
But
the
it's
same
very
metrics.
conservative metrics on the Whoop. I don't know if it's because it's on the finger. I surely don't like it because my RAM is fucking horrible.
Even with the ice baths and the saunas?
I do everything. I take magnesium. I take trazodone now, 50 milligrams of that before I sleep. I do like some little bit of what's that called before you sleep?
Ecstasy.
Melatonin.
A little bit of acid on the tongue. Melatonin, a little bit of that. I do like a whole sleep regimen.
Right.
Like I do a red light. I have a red light therapy bed. I just lay on the red light therapy bed and put on sleep. I have a fucking grounding mat. I'm on for 30 minutes. I have a hyperbaric chamber in my room. I fucking go all in on biohacking. You know, like
That's why.
That's why you fly Spirit.
That's why. That's why you look so great. And the only thing you're missing is the bringing in the 18-year-old dudes to get their blood transfusion.
Fecal transfusion.
I heard about that. The blood plasma, the younger blood plasma that you can transfuse in your
That's
bloodstream.
just straight creepy to me, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stem cells is like somewhat similar.
Yeah. Have you done that?
I've done that.
Did you go to Colombia for that?
I went down to Panama.
Okay. I went to Medellin,
How was that?
Colombia. This place called Bioaccelerator. Joe Rogan talks about it all the time.
Really?
Like it's unbelievable. And you got to go somewhere outside of America because the procedures that they do, the techniques are not legal in America. And it's not that they're illegal in America because there's anything controversial about where the stems come from. They're not even coming from like aborted babies. They're coming from the umbilical cords of perfectly healthy babies that,
And they replicate.
Yeah,
they can replicate.
There's nothing controversial about the origin of the stem cells. What's controversial is allegedly the medical complex, the medical industrial complex doesn't want solutions to health problems that don't involve like getting paid for the drugs and the pharmaceuticals and the operations and all that. They want people to be sick and so they can operate on them and sell them drugs.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, that's what the speculation I heard.
Yeah, there's definitely like like in America, there's like the church is so tied in with the state kind of thing too, which, in stem cells, it's such a controversial point for that.
Yeah, but that's it's
and it doesn't make sense because it's like you said, it's from an umbilical cord.
Right.
It's not from a baby.
It's not an aborted baby.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly healthy baby that was born and is happily living with its mother. And instead of throwing away the umbilical cord, they harvest it for stem cells.
Right, and it replicates over time. I'm sure I
don't even know about it replicating.
Yeah.
I just think there's just a fuck ton of stem cells in there.
Yeah,
I went with Danny Way. You know Danny Way?
Oh yeah, I know Danny. Yeah.
Yeah, he got his own Guinness World Record. I don't know if it was verified, but the most stem cells pumped into a human being like in one go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's so gnarly. Like the way his whole, like he's just like the bionic man. Him and Matt Hoffman have been operated on so much.
Yeah, I guess it's like that's where it does help. a regeneration.
Dude, he's got no cartilage, zero cartilage in his knees. It's just bone on bone.
Oh my god!
And he's fucking skating. I think the last time I talked to him, he said that now his MRIs are showing cartilage in his knee again, and that's just 100% from the stem cells.
When I was in Panama, I saw a lot of kids that had muscle dystrophy, which means their muscles like just disintegrate or deteriorate over time.
Yeah.
And they're there for stem cells. So there was some sort of program that was allowing them to get stem cells so they can regenerate their muscle tissue. Some like, I don't know the science behind it, but that I was like, wow. So that's helping kids that have this, sad disease, and it's helping people that want to heal faster in certain areas of the body. I had like shoulder issues, so I went in there. I got shots in my shoulder, an intravenous through the body, just to do the whole.
So you flush the hole, and it homes in on areas that need shit.
Yeah,
somehow.
it's like Navy SEALs coming in, just going, oh, we got a problem down here.
Yeah. So they do it intravenously through your whole system, and then they'll do it locally where they just hit in one spot that they know needs help. I did it in my neck for degenerative disc disease.
And how did it feel after?
It's tough for me to really say that how much it helped, because I know that the issue's there, but it hasn't gotten so bad yet. So it was a little bit preemptive, so I'm just a bad example.
I'm also, whenever I think about things like this, I don't try to look for the immediate reaction, because usually immediate reactions are not real. They're a bit
right,
placebo,
of course not. Of course
it's
not.
It's like how you feel, but it's
right.
it's always like with all the stuff that I do, it's like you have to do it a lot, and you have to do it over time, and then do a test from your baseline to 3 months or 6 months later. But it could only make sense if you're doing something consistently, and then you could get a true reading.
That, yes. Plus, even scientifically, they said that don't expect to see a difference on an MRI or an X-ray for 6 months, because it's going to take that long for the stem cells to actually do their thing.
Right, and but the one thing you can't test is, your HRV.
Yeah.
Because I that's one thing that I was talking to Dan Bilzerian about it, and he says his HRV score, it just doubled after he took his stem cells.
Oh wow, how about that?
And he's obsessed with diagnostics as well. That's all we do is like 30% of our conversation is literally on diagnostic check on, okay, so what's going on with your health here? Where's
Are
your
you guys
HRV
in
up?
the Whoop group?
No, but we should. Are you in a Whoop group? I started one too.
Dude, I'm in.
Let's do it.
How are you with your diet? Sugar. Are you?
When I go out to eat, it just everything's thrown out the window. I just ate at Delilah's. I had some dessert, at the end, and I was like, whatever. But for right now, I've been pretty good. In general, I do these bets. They keep me in line. That's my discipline.
Okay.
Without a bet, I can't get kept in line. It's so interesting how my brain works.
I have no ability to moderate anything. So I'm either disastrously awful, or I'm super disciplined and doing great. Right now, I'm really doing well avoiding sugar. As soon as I screw up once, next thing you know, I'm in the gas station with the Reese's. But I say that because my HRV, depending on my diet, if I'm awful, my HRV's awful. If I'm avoiding flour and sugar and eating like a somewhat responsible human being, then my HRV is way higher.
That's why it's so fun to gamify this stuff.
Yeah.
So that way you because our brains are they're intelligent, but they're also so primitive. You need to you need to speak to the dumb fucking guy inside of your head and gamify it and trick it. I have to trick my stupid brain with these bets.
Dude,
and then I won't eat bread. Just because I put a bet on it, with my friend. It's an honor bet, so I could easily eat bread without him even knowing. But
what's the bet?
It's $500 if I eat a piece of bread or pasta But like breaded chicken or, you know, like this
Yeah.
bread on things is okay. But like a piece of bread, cause I love bread and butter
Yeah.
Me
at a
too.
dinner table. I mean, there's a beautiful bread and butter at the dinner table yesterday. I was like, I'm not touching that thing. I made a bread, but I'm going to pay $500. Fuck that. So once I have that in my mind, I just won't do it. You know, you kind of need this stupid thing in your head. It's like, why can't I do it without this bet? You
Right.
know what I mean?
Dude, a perfect example of exactly what you're talking about is my meditation practice. I keep track of it on an app, and if I skip a day, I'm gonna lose this streak. Like today, 1,188 straight days,
What?
averaging more than 40 minutes of meditating every single day.
Oh my God.
I do it twice a day. Today I'm 26 minutes in. So
Wow.
the way I view it, I owe the universe 15 minutes because I got to maintain.
This is gamifying. It's so good. And wait, what's this app?
This app, there's nothing special about it. Like it doesn't it's not guided or anything. I do mantra-based meditation.
okay.
It's called Center.
Okay.
And dude, like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna break that fucking streak. It's 100% gamified. And just like with my diet, if heaven forbid I skip one day of meditation, it's out the window. I'll never get it back.
Yeah.
I'll never get it back. And fuck, you know.
You know what's interesting? So there's a like this, you know, I love this like tech diagnostic stuff that I keep getting from different companies. There's one that I got that when you meditate, you're supposed to wear this device, and it does more of a diagnostic check on your overall stress level, your you know, because what I've learned about longevity and anti-aging is that, you know, clearly like one of the things, caloric restriction is gonna amount to, you know, saving lots of years on your life.
Yeah.
But the overall stress level that you have over a long period of time is one of the key tenets of living a longer life than expected.
Yeah. Worrying.
So like it's like meditation is so crucial. I remember when I did this, I was wearing this thing, and you put it in your ears, and you have it testing on the back of your neck. And I was meditating. It just immediately, I love seeing the graphs. You see, like everything just drop.
You gotta hook me up.
Yeah.
You gotta hook me up with that. And worrying is so fucking destructive.
Yeah.
Like stress and you know, it's crazy. With your renting a private jet for a whole, I gotta go back to this.
Yeah.
Renting a private jet for a whole fucking summer. Does that mean that you don't even bother with tour buses?
Not in Europe.
Okay, so but when you're in the States...
So I only do that in Europe. We work with a company. I've been working with them for 13 years now, or maybe 15 years. Like every time I'm in Europe, I stay there for a few months, and I have a residency and a visa. So I rarely come back to America unless I have to play in Vegas or I have to play a certain festival. But generally, I'm just there. I want to stay in one time zone. But when I'm here, I'm traveling everything commercial. And I
Spirit Airlines
and Spirit's like, I don't want to shout Spirit out so fucking hard because they're like not great, okay? They're not great.
I think everybody knows that.
Like, yeah, American, I'll just shout them out. American is awesome because like concierge key and they pick you up.
It.
How'd you get that?
I'm so
Dude,
resentful.
I don't know, but I'm just happy to be part of the concierge key club because they wait for you right when you get out. Boom, you're outside the plane into a nice car, driven to the next thing. It's like amazing.
Dude, I'm so bummed on American Airlines. When did you become a million miler?
Fuck, 10 years ago.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, listen, I've been doing 200 to 300 shows a year. Every year for the past 18 years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is like my mileage club on every airline is crazy.
Right.
Because I fly them all. I fly United, Delta, Southwest. I fly every single airline.
What do you do with the frequent flyer miles?
You know what? Like, I'm definitely not optimizing on that.
Well, here's the thing. Scott did this once. He posted on his social media. He said, "I've got so many frequent flyer miles, and I just want to like do something good for somebody. So somebody send me your story, and I'm gonna go through their stories and pick someone. I'm just gonna give you. I'd like to do that right now."
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I have a fuck ton of these.
But it has to be two people because you don't want to send somebody by themselves.
Right, of course. Like, if the story's good enough,
Yeah.
then it's you and a guest.
To go domestic?
I mean, can we not? You're the only one who buys my flights. Can we not use miles to send anybody anywhere in the world?
Yeah, you could do that. But sometimes around the world is like 200,000, and now you just spent 400,000 points round trip.
Within America. Okay, maybe we can deal with other countries later. Within America. Now, how are they going to get their story to me?
They're going to probably follow Vinny at Skinny Vinny.
Oh, Vinny just got verified. Vinny is going to be the liaison.
Yeah.
So they have to follow you.
Yeah.
They got to follow Skinny Vinny on Instagram.
They have to like one of his cool videos on there.
Yeah, and they you know, and they just got to get Vinny's attention, and easy on the sob story. If it's something sincere, that's great. But like,
If it gets you, if you'll know who the person
you know what?
is.
I don't
For
want.
sure.
I take that back. Sob story is fun. Like whatever. It's compelling. We want
For
compelling.
sure. I'm in.
You're gonna pick Chad Tepper.
Do you now, Steve? Let me ask you this. Like, I gotta believe that we're flooding Vinny's Instagram with requests, and there's gonna be more than one compelling request.
Totally.
Are you interested at all in us making you aware of so we can throw away some of your frequent flyer miles on one of these, or should or do you
Spirit.
wanna?
Spirit Airlines.
I'm not fucking. I'll just buy him a ticket on Spirit, man.
You know, so on the first seats, because I just started flying Spirit. You know,
Okay.
like I never thought I would ever do this, and I'm like, my first flight in Spirit Airlines is 45. You know, so the front seats are only $40 extra.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was telling you. He was like,
That's so
what
funny.
airline do you want to fly? I was like, dude, put me in Spirit. I want that fat front seat.
Yeah, but it doesn't recline.
It doesn't recline. But for me, I'm a big dude, so it's nicer than sitting in the back of
Yeah, I mean,
American.
I flew from Miami to Vegas. That's 5 hours on Spirit. That's a long flight.
You don't fly like American lay down seat on the way to Miami from
I
LA?
want to. I prefer Mint, you know, like the JetBlue, but they don't have that option because I had to get back. I remember I was in Friday night. This has just happened. So Friday night I played Miami, did my party. Saturday I had to fly out like at 8 in the morning, the only flight out to get me to play my Wet Republic show at 3 p.m. And then right after Wet Republic, I took a private jet to Veracruz, Mexico, which is 5 hours south. And
You
then
just showed
played.
Veracruz?
Yeah, in Tajín,
That's
Mexico.
not like that. That's like not even.
No, if like a big.
I don't want to say like it's an underdeveloped.
Okay, so here's the thing. I want to tell you about Mexico. So I played all over Mexico. I played in the center of I played like Leon to 150,000 people. I played like cities that you probably not ever heard of.
I've heard of most of it because like when we did Wild Boys, we went everywhere, and that's
Did you go
why
to
I know.
Aguas Calientes?
I'm not sure. I just remember Veracruz because I met a chick in Veracruz that I was pretty jazzed on, and I flew her to LA. So Veracruz is like I remember.
So
it.
yeah, of course. With a girl, of course you can remember that. Aguas Calientes is hot water, right? Hot water.
Okay.
The city is my biggest show I've ever played in my whole career. It was like 250,000 people.
Wow.
It's just like these cities you don't know about. The whole place comes out.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like centered in the middle of this street, in the middle of like this whole city. So like my stage is built up. There's like TVs everywhere, so that like the whole city would come out and watch the show if they couldn't get to like the center street, which was
Crazy.
filled like 4 blocks down. So
Yeah,
like stuff like that's so crazy.
What a satisfying experience.
It really
man.
is. It's the greatest high to ever experience. I never got into cocaine, or I never got into like serious drugs that get those serious highs. but I can't imagine a high that comes close. The endorphin release, the scientific. If I was to somehow do my neurofeedback or some sort of brain scan on the brain after a show, I don't like the adrenaline, the endorphins, the whatever else is happening in my brain. I'm the happiest I've ever been. It's. I just hope it's like I don't want to lose playing shows. It's the greatest feeling in the world. That's why I do 200, 300 shows a year. And 45, I'm trying to keep my body, my mind, my spirit like super strong so I can do this. Like I don't have an intention to retire, you know, because it's just this is my soul is definitely feeling this 100% too. So
for
I'm really
sure.
lucky.
Quick question, Scott. What was the story of the person that you gave that trip to?
I've done it a couple times. I don't remember.
I feel like someone, their father was dying of cancer.
Yeah, and I flew out their daughter.
Right.
Or
Okay.
the original winner she's never seen the ocean before, and she wanted to fly to Oregon coast, see her sister, but she died before she did it, so I ended up flying out her daughter, I believe.
Okay, so whatever. We've established it. I feel really good about
so
that.
I got to get in on this too. So you did ask me about that. So count me in. I don't know how, but I'll join you.
Like Vinny's gonna be the go-to. He's only gonna send me the really good ones.
Yeah.
And of the really good ones, I'll send you like what I think are the really, really good ones.
You pick it.
Or maybe they can go to one of your can they go to one of your shows or something?
Yeah, come to my show in Vegas. Let's fly them to Vegas.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And then we can get them in. We can get them into the show.
I don't necessarily think it's a matter of like come flying them to us. Like what we want is like a trip that's going to be meaningful to someone. Like why do you need to get on an airplane and go do something? What is the compelling reason why you have to like make this trip? And we want to make that trip happen for you. And I want to make sure that it's not just like I'm sending somebody on a trip and they gotta like I'm gonna pay for their hotels and you know their food and everything. It's gonna be an all expenses paid trip for someone who really needs to go on a trip. And I love that we're doing this at the tail end of the podcast because I'm always so like profoundly grateful for the people who really stick with it. And you know, because retention.
It's the street
team. It's the street team.
The street team.
It's the street team. So, dude, man, like this has been epic. Is there anything that we can draw attention to or promote? You said you just had a song come out last week.
Yeah, Wild with Vinny Vici that just came out.
Okay.
I just started a music grading company. So I was showing that to you guys.
Oh, we didn't talk about the trading cards and shit.
Yeah. I mean, like that's a whole long one, but so clearly I'm into trading cards. I'm into like collectibles in general. I love collectibles. And the thing with collectibles is whenever you encase them and encapsulate them, like PSA does with cards.
Right.
Comic books get graded. Get graded and encapsulated. Now video games are selling for millions of dollars that are encapsulated and graded.
Like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out's probably pretty valuable.
That's gonna be in the six figures for sure, 100%.
Wow.
The VHS tapes are getting graded and sold.
Damn.
For six figures.
I gave
like
them
the
all
first
away.
Star Wars. You know, like if you had a seal of Star Wars. Think about this. Like, there's a lot. And now, why isn't vinyl? I know it's supposed to be played.
How about skateboards?
Skateboards. I mean, anything. But that's why I started this company, Audio Media Grading, to encapsulate and grade all music collections. So not just vinyl, but vinyl, CDs, cassette tapes, 8-track. And now we're going to do reels. We're going to do everything in music. And we're, reaching out to all the big audiophile collectors as well to get their grails encapsulated and help sell them and create a secondary, this is an alternative asset. We're going to create a secondary income stream and build a community around grading and encapsulating music collections.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really exciting. I have an insane vinyl collection. It's my first thing that I got into when I.
How many pieces of vinyl do you have?
It's interesting. It's not like I have this crazy amount. Like I had a call with Craig Kalman, the head of Atlantic. He has 2 million pieces of vinyl. So I have like a couple thousand. Mainly punk and hardcore because that's what I grew up on, and I'm encapsulating like 1,000 pieces of vinyl because I'm never going to touch them, never going to play them. If I want to play it, I'll just get the new version.
Yeah.
Like the first editions, the limited to 100s, the test presses. You know, like Beatles records, if you look at the top sales from vinyl, are selling, one sold for $1 million. Like Ringo Starr's White Album sold for over 1.2 million.
Wow.
And that needs to be encapsulated. That needs to be graded. That no one should be playing that particular vinyl. It should be protected and celebrated.
Yeah.
You know.
You got any Gorilla Biscuits vinyl in there?
I have a Gorilla Biscuits tattoo on my back.
That's epic, man. Dude. Nice, dude.
So I got all like Civ and Walter Schriefels, and like I'm really close with those guys. And
dude.
Yeah.
Do you have your own...
Dude, Civ should have done the tattoo on your
I
back.
know. I got it when I was 18. You know.
Right. Dude, that's epic, man.
You ever thought about coming out with your own skateboard?
I never had my own skateboard.
Like a sick deck.
Yeah, I never had one.
Dude, I got a trick on.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that you had the
mini
skate
ramp.
ramp. It's sick.
Yeah, I mean, I used to skate. I need to get back on that.
It's a tough one, man.
It's totally abandoned. I'm so happy that you jumped on there and like.
It's skateboarding is the ultimate in diminishing returns when you hit your 40s. Yeah,
exactly. I'm just too afraid to fall. I've like last time I have like the knee pads. I look like a complete poser. I got elbow pads. I'm like wrist guards, helmet. I look so like a kook, you know. But
that's hilarious.
I'm just like, if I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna try to do a stall or do anything, and if I hurt myself, I'm gonna regret it. You know?
Right.
Maybe we can get you concierge key on Spirit if they're listening.
Yeah.
They'll meet you at the gate.
Oh
the whole deal.
All right. Well, dude, thank you so much, man. What an honor. And dude, I'm in the Whoop group, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in the Whoop group. And that's gonna gamify it for me because like how bummed do you get if your green recovery circle, if you don't have that blue, what do you call it? Strain circle to meet the green.
Yes, yeah.
If you come up short, does that just bum you out?
I mean, I'm coming up short a lot, especially on the road, because I sleep so fucking shit on the road.
Yeah.
Like I'm barely the early morning flights and the late nights, it fucks my head up. So when I'm home, it's all recovery. It's ice baths, sauna, red light, hyperbaric.
But when you get
sleep.
good recovery, then you need to get strain.
Yeah, I know. But I work out. I try to work out every day when I'm home too.
What's your guys' HRV right now? Do you know?
Today.
Let's see. I'll check right now.
Mine was 76 last I checked.
HRV.
My HRV today is 63.
Mine's really bad. Mine's 42.
42. And that
Yes,
Mine
Today-
always stays around there. It's like I have a friend over 100. I'm like so fucking jealous.
There was a time when I was doing like 150 HRV.
No!
I've
the
had
people
it-
at
No!
Whoop on the calls at Whoop, they were like, "We've never seen anybody like this
Wait,
before."
what were you doing that got you 150? That's crazy.
You were cycling and no sugar.
Says no sugar
my
and
God,
exercise.
the sugar.
The sugar's in
The sugar's everything.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
mean-
fucking devil.
Yesterday I was 91 HRV.
Whoa!
So
What'd you do yesterday?
Oh my God, that's so good. That's so fucking good. Like
all
my
about the
HRV right
Whoop,
now is
baby.
39 right now, and if
I need
go
to get one of
here,
those.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
42. So 39, 42 much. No.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm in the Whoop group. We'll have each other's data, dude. But, dude, so much fun, man. Thank you for
Yeah, this was great.
Oh, I didn't even mention that how I just barged into your Instagram DM, like just out of nowhere, and then you got right back to me. That was epic.
You're Steve-O. Steve-O. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta do that. Like, I love it, man. Thank you, and yeah, that's it.
All right, man. That's awesome.
Let me say it again. I think that was at least one of the greatest podcasts we've ever recorded. And you know, I'm talking to you, my beautiful, wonderful street team. I could not be more thrilled that it is you guys who are aware of this giveaway. My man Vinny, he's right there. Vinny, with his prison pocket, with his harem of unbelievably hot chicks, his new verification check that he did not pay for. I mean, dude, God is shining on Vinny, and I need you to follow him. We were just talking about it, man. Like, we're sending somebody on an adventure. You know, tell us your dreams. Tell us, like, what's important. You know? I think I might do this more in the future. Gotta be a good one. So follow Vinny and get to it. All right, man. I love you, my beautiful street team. I love Steve Aoki too. Yeah, dude. Oh, and I'm in Australia. All right, gents. Ladies and gentlemen, Too Short. Yeah, dude.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
This is my co-host Scott Randolph,
What's going on?
and up at the front we have the gorgeous Paul Brisky.
What
Nice
up, man?
to meet you, man. How are you?
I
Chillin', bro.
gotta tell on myself, man. I'm fucking later than shit, dude.
How late are you?
I get so, dude. It's so uncomfortable for me to be going somewhere where I'm late, and it's just like all over my body. I'm just physically just uncomfortable. I was filming a surf show for Kook of the Day, and I did catch 5 waves, but we were supposed to start 50 minutes ago. This is an awful embarrassment. It's so unprofessional of me, and I'm so sorry that we did
dope
that.
whip. It's all good, man. I'm kind of.
So you're the kook of the day.
I am the Kook of the Day,
You're
dude.
too late.
I'm on a carefree day today, so it's cool.
Dude, epic,
Yeah,
man.
that's good.
Thank you.
Good.
So yeah, dude. I mean, where to begin, dude? Like, you got a career that's gone for fucking ever.
Yeah, I don't know where you begin. You just kind of exist.
Yeah.
There is no beginning. There is no ending.
I was checking it out, dude. Like, is it your career really began in earnest in 1983?
Around that time, I first started rapping in the year 1980. I first heard rap in '79.
Yeah.
So a year later, I'm like, I can do this, and it was just a little high school hobby. And right near the end of high school, it started like really growing.
At that time, like, when did the Fat Boys come out?
That was same time, 82, 83, same time.
Right.
Run DMC.
Run DMC was were they even that early?
They were there. Crush Groove, the movie, was a big deal. That was like
Okay.
1984.
Right.
At that time, Curtis Blow was the big guy in the movie, and Run DMC was, the next upcoming stars, and LL Cool J emerged as.
But that's still way later.
Yeah, but but he appeared in that movie.
Okay.
He was like a new guy kicked in the door at his radio. But during that time, all this is taking place. I'm famous in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Like I'm not making records. I'm not signed to a label, but I'm famous. I'm doing parties. I'm making money. I'm in high school, and I'm just like,
Wow.
I'm not really getting the opportunity of being on a major label, which I'm glad I wasn't, because I had a lot of time to be mediocre and learn.
Sure.
By the time I got to a major label, I was a seasoned veteran.
What was the label? Your first label was called 75.
75 Girls Records. That was a local label, and the guy who owned it, his name was Dane Hodges, and he had somewhere along in life he got the formula of how to be an independent label.
So 75 Girls is a pimping reference, I would imagine.
It is a reference that he got from a Johnny Guitar Watson song. I don't know the name of the song. I know we used to listen to it, and Dean Hodges really loved this one line in the song. Johnny Guitar Watson sings like he was on a horse or a motorcycle or something. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. But he rides up, and all in one motion, he kisses 75 girls at the same time. And Dean liked that so much, he named his label 75 Girls Records.
Nice,
pretty good.
man.
Wow.
That's an independent label.
Yeah.
Now you recorded 3 albums on that label?
They released 3 albums. I recorded 2. The
Oh,
third
wow.
one, the third album was a homemade tape that I used to just sit around making these little homemade tapes with a mixer and a turntable and turn some records over to the instrumental side and just record songs that I wrote. And they found, after I did the 2 albums and, we moved on, it was like a family environment. Because
Sure.
the next venture that we did, I did it with Dean Hodges' little brother and his first cousin. It was just
That was
off to
the Dangerous.
Dangerous Music.
Yeah.
So we just off to the next, and it was still in the family. But I mean, man, I could tell you things about those years, like things.
Sure. So the albums that you put out with 75 Girls, are those the tapes that you're selling in the park?
So two of them were literally in the studio, working in a really nice studio. The one is titled Don't Stop Rapping.
Sure.
Recorded at a studio.
That was the very first one.
Yeah, it was recorded at a studio in San Francisco, Different Fur. And the next one after that was called Players. Same thing. We were in the studio. And, you know, I'm working with professional engineers and professional musicians, and I'm learning. I'm really learning how to do all these things that are going to come and play later on. And then the third one, like I said, they found a little homemade tape I had made, and they manufactured it later on after I got signed to Jive.
Oh, damn.
They're like, okay, we got a little secret weapon. But, you know, I never had a problem with 75 Girls because, for one, we never had an agreement. We never had a written agreement. Two, Dean Hodges taught me detailed how to run a independent label, every step from A to Z. And then third, you know, he taught me how to be a player. So not only was I, you know, working with these professional musicians in a professional studio, you know, we had endless weed. It was like fucking like cocaine was free. Everything was just free. Just make music and be in the environment. And I learned a lot. So I never had any problem with 75 Girls because when I look back, it was like earning a master's degree.
Sure.
And being a fucking player and a rapper and whatever.
What I think is really interesting, too, is that, you know, coming out of L.A., there was like the hip-hop was like heavily influenced by gang culture. But they didn't really have gang culture in Oakland so much as just hustlers and pimps.
And even the gangs that are in the Bay, they don't gang bang because of blue and red and territory and this and that. Some of it could be neighborhood, others could be we're bound together by money and the hustle or like-minded things, but it's not open and shut rules of you're blue, I'm red, we're enemies. It was never like that.
Yeah.
Different kind of gang bang up there.
It's just different. It's just,
gang bang.
It's if you had to analyze it and you were like law enforcement, you go, it's no different. But in the streets, it's a lot. It's different than walking around going, oh my God, let's get to doing red. You know, it's a lot different. It's a lot different.
Yeah, and so, like, you were basically like the first mixtape cat, right? Like,
there was no name for it.
Yeah, there's no name for it, and you had just audio cassettes. And what was the first time that you went out to sell them? You sold them like to a drug dealer?
The very first tape we ever sold, I had a rap partner. His name was Freddie B. He was rapping in his world. You know, he had been to like, you know, juvenile correctional facilities and getting in trouble and stuff. And he knew lots of people all over the city from, you know, he grew up in West Oakland, lived in East Oakland. He just knew a lot of people. And I was really popular from like 1981, 82, like from being around the city, riding on the buses and having my big radio and letting people hear my raps. What we got here? With some burritos, man. So I'm super popular, right? But now I got these guys coming like, yeah, man, you know, my boy Freddie B, he raps, he's better than you, he's blah, blah, you know. So what they were really doing was in the spirit of hip hop, early 80s, they're like, let's get a battle rap going with the only two rappers we know. So they pit us to rap against each other, and we did. And as I hear a lot of rappers who became really good friends say they first battled and they became friends, we became friends.
Okay.
So we recorded some stuff at his house, and it was cool. And I was like, dude, you should come by my house, because I had like this quality equipment where you could record and you'd sound really good, because I knew how to set the levels and I had the right microphones and little effects machines. And when he heard what we sounded like after recording in my house, he said, we should sell this, or we could sell this, something like that. And I'm like, sell it to who? He's like, shit, some drug dealers right down the street.
Right.
Like, fuck, let's go. So
that was the first tape you sold, was to the drug dealers.
we just walked up to him and popped it in. One guy had a car with a nice little sound system, and we said, hey, you guys want to buy a rap tape? And they were like, what the fuck for? Like, why? And you know, Freddie B's like, just listen to it. So they listened, and we're just sitting there kicking it, listening, one tape. And the guy walks up to the radio, he leans in the car and presses eject and says, I'll buy it. So when he said that, it's like, how much? $5. Somebody else said, let me get one. We're like, well, we only got one, but we'll be back tomorrow.
Dude, that's
Wow.
epic. And then, and so check this out. I don't know if you guys know this, but Too Short's selling like a tape before it was called a mixtape for $5. But then, and he's selling them to drug dealers. So like people who are like kind of like bosses and players and hustlers, like, you know, people with influence.
money guys.
Yeah, money people in Oakland. They start making like requests. Hey man, you're selling these tapes. I want you to custom make me a tape where you shout me out, like work me into a rap song. So he starts custom making rap songs for like bosses in Oakland, and he's selling those tapes for $20.
Exactly.
Wow. It's like the original Cameo almost.
Dude, it's epic.
That was an accident too. That wasn't on purpose. We kind of were trying to win over this one guy. We were working with one of his drug dealer workers, one of his lower level guys, and he was bringing us over there because he had some really good equipment and he wanted to be a rapper, and he's like bringing us to his spot. But at his spot, there's fucking drugs being sold. Yeah. And one of the big boss guy, the actual big boss guy, is walking around with this mean face and, you know, just not saying anything to us. So we, you know, this kind of guy, you like, hey, what's up? And he just don't say shit back to you, that kind of shit. So we asked him one day, we like, hey, you want one of our tapes? We're going to give it to him for free. And he just, like, lit into us with he's like, I don't give a fuck about rap music. Fuck that rap shit. Like, why would I listen to rap if it's about somebody else? If it was about me, I'd listen to it. Like,
okay.
So we like, shit, like, we got cussed the fuck out by the boss, man, like some scary shit. We leave and go, man, we got to make a tape about him. Like, like it's mandatory. So we bring him back the tape and we just go here and walk away. Just hear it. Just give it to him. Just don't ask nothing ever.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking genius because that gets you in with the most influential people.
So look at this. He never says thank you. He never says I liked it. He never said I listened to it. He never says shit. And this other guy comes walking up to us out the blue one day. We're on the streets, walking down the street. And this guy's like yelling. He's like, do you know where the fuck you at? And do you know who the fuck I am? He's like, if you motherfuckers don't get me a tape like you made him, I better not ever see you out here ever again.
How dare you make a tape?
Day later, we're like, here you go. He was the one who, when we handed him the tape, he just gave us $20. Like, here.
Okay.
And he's like, y'all cool. So then that's two people that had custom made tapes. Now the requests started coming in, which is why we named them the special requests, because we started getting like summons. Like,
so when you make a special request, are you like writing an entire song from scratch? Or are you just re-recording?
Freestyling.
So I end up with this little pad, like, you know, this size, little pocket pad. I got a pen on me or something, and I'm like taking notes. The guys on 84th want 5 tapes, like, you know, and just keep it like where we can come back and get the money. And so somebody will pull up on us. We're like sitting on the bus stop, and then like a nice little car pull up, and they go, "Hey, you guys, Too Short Freddie B?" We're like, "Yeah." Like, get in the car. Like, okay. And we go drive to some little exclusive neighborhood where you can't get past the goons unless they let you pass. And then we go back and we meet the boss. He's like, yeah, I want to get one of those tapes.
Oh, shit, dude.
We're like, okay, what you want your tape to say? He's like, yeah, talk about my car and my block and, you know, name a couple of my homies. And I'm taking notes. I'm like,
oh my God, it's amazing.
All this is going in the tape. And we come back and it turned into a really popular thing that, like, just only the bosses wanted to spend the $20. I could
spend the $20. It's so fucking funny, and I've never heard of that.
None of the little guys really wanted it. That's like
right.
back
boss
then.
Shit, dude.
But this is in the 80s, right? I mean,
This
$20
is early 80s,
is a little
80,
more.
82, 83.
Yeah.
Right.
How many bosses did you make it for?
The whole city. Everybody wanted one.
And everybody got their own legit original track.
People were riding around listening to a song about themselves.
That's sick, dude.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of that. Like, you've got to be the only guy who came up that way. And then presumably because these people are big bosses, then now, like, when they've got you doing live gigs, and
so we also DJ'd the hood parties, parties that, you know, it'd be like in somebody's living room, you know, just whatever, like in a fucking apartment, little tiny ass apartment crammed with people, whatever it may be. And at those parties, we did a lot of personal stuff too. Like, we'd really be naming people in the crowd. So, we kind of like, it was what they were doing in New York and the Bronx. We like, let's do our version of it. So you walk in the party, you somebody, you get your name said, we might put you in like some rhyming words or something, and everybody just loved us.
So who's putting on these parties?
We were on this, I guess, like house party circuit where I guess you could relate them to like what people might call like a rent party in the projects where, one family's trying to raise some money in the night just to so it could just be some kids or some young people trying to make some money. So it's a really low investment. You buy a few bottles of liquor, you pass out some little index cards with invites and shit. You only need a few hundred people, and basically the formula was you pass out these little flyers and go, come to house party on 92nd Avenue. Here's the address. It's from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. and it's $1 to get in the door and $1 for a drink, something like that.
All right.
And it's affordable for the party going person. They pay me about $100, $50, whatever, $75, and we DJ your party. We rap at the shit, and I found out all these things that I was doing were forms of marketing that you would want your young artists to do. So the first time they ever asked me to stand in front of a crowd of thousands of people, a friend of mine, Lionel B., he worked for Bill Graham. Bill Graham did all the big concerts, the Grateful Dead, all this stuff.
Legendary promoter,
Sure.
So Bill Graham had a side company called Bay Area Productions that he did a lot of urban concerts with. So they asked me if I wanted to be the opening act on one of the shows. It was when that song, it was UTFO, Roxanne.
Okay.
Old shit, 1985. And they asked me to open the show. I never had made a record, never been in the studio, just tapes only. And I went out there in front of 5,000, 6,000 people, and everybody in the crowd knew every word, everything I was saying.
Yeah, that's
shit. I get off stage. I didn't even know it was going to happen. I get off stage and come back, and people are like, who the fuck are you? Like,
right.
How the fuck do they know your shit? You never made a record. I'm like, I don't know, man. Shit.
And then there's another like
people like
pretty notable thing is that rap music in the early 80s was just so clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what comes to mind for me is the song White Lines, where it's just like a say no to drugs like kind of thing. The Fat Boys, Run DMC, like they didn't have like gangster
explicit
rap.
Lyrics.
Right, explicit lyrics. And then here you come along.
1982.
1982.
Fuck
and
that bitch. Shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And you just were unapologetic about just being like, so you really were like the first like hardcore, like explicit rapper talking about bitches and
yeah, when you
pimping.
get like the late 80s and you got groups like NWA emerging, I'm right there with them, but I had a head start on the genre already. Like when Ice-T made 6 in the Morning, I mean, that was like the floodgates opening to graphic rhymes that come from the West Coast, and with a West, it's graphic like the message.
What's the 6 in the Morning from Ice-T? Was that something he did on his own?
That was his rendition of Schoolie D's old Parkside Killers, whatever it was, and it's just a tale of like a day in a gangbanger's life.
Right. No, I asked that because I'm just wondering if that's like, after he left NWA.
No, Ice-T, not Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice-T, not Ice Cube.
This is before Ice-T.
Oh,
Ice-T,
shit,
Ice-T makes this move. He shows up in the movie Breaking.
Yeah, you're right,
and he's
of
making
course.
records before us. Like Dr. Dre was in it kind of early as a world-class record crew. But I was on the explicit shit. When they were all doing that, Egyptian Lover is, being...
Sure.
He's doing these hyper-sex songs, but they're not really explicit lyrics. They're just explicit content. But I'm in Oakland, and I'm like, bitch, suck my dick. Like, literally.
Right.
And when they finally got me on the stage, which I come at the same time as Eric B. and Rakim and Public Enemy, the 87, 88, 89, but I'm already like seasoned. I've already been in front of hundreds of crowds. I've done so many house parties with the most ruthless gangsters that, like, basically you better be good or you might get beat up type shit. So
you go from 75 girls And then you got your own thing is Dangerous.
So Dangerous Music is just a carbon copy of what 75 Girls is
Except
doing.
it's your shit.
Except we own it now.
Right.
We don't just work for the big brother.
And how long does the Dangerous thing go?
It gets us all the way to Jive Records, and everybody who started Dangerous Music with me, I think it was around, we started it in like 87.
Okay.
So 75 Girls is like 85, 86, 87. Somewhere in the middle of 87, we switch over and we go down and we start our own company and we call it Dangerous Music and we put out Freaky Tales and we get the money now.
Right.
Like,
and then now, like 1989, now you're doing straight
Jive,
fucking
it's a big deal. Everything's big.
Arena tour with NWA.
All that shit. So,
and that was in arenas?
Yeah, that's the first time I went out. It was the Straight Outta Compton tour. First time
Straight out. So you're the opening act for NWA.
Actually, I was the guy. Easy E called me. He's the leader of NWA.
Sure.
He called me and said, "Hey, you want to go on tour?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I was the act that went on right before NWA.
Sure.
So it was a lot of opening acts.
Oh, got you. Okay.
We merged tours with LL
So
Cool J.
you're the co-main event.
We merged tours with LL Cool J for about 2 weeks. So they were like co-headlining, and
that's not a match.
And that tour came along with like Salt and Pepper and De La Soul and Kid and Play, and you know these guys. Everybody's got hot records, but if I get you like somewhere deep down south or somewhere in some little town in Michigan somewhere, you ain't fucking with me. And I ain't gonna lie, I was out there murdering groups, like murdering. Like I dare you to come on stage after me, because if even to this day, if you come on after me, you have to be of that cloth of the crowd loves me. They love my music. I'm good. Like I know a lot of groups that can go on before and after me, and we give them like the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's having the best night of their life. But if you dare, like, don't do what I do to a crowd, and you come on after me, it really shows what you can't do. Like if you go on before me, they love you. I come on, it turns up. And they don't notice it, but if you come on after me, you better be one of those guys that really.
Yeah.
So NWA did pretty good after you.
Oh, of course. They had this. They had all the fucking, crowd participation. Yeah. They had all the drama in the show. They brought the stage set.
They had the fucking crazy explicit shit.
They could go from like they used to come on like Ren and Dre would do a little, get everybody hyped and do a couple songs. Then Ice Cube would come out and do about 10, 15 minutes by himself, and then they build up to this whole thing where you finally get to see Easy, and they all say all these fucking songs. It was amazing. Like,
wow.
Fun after parties.
They did a pretty good rendition of what that show was like in the movie Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, cool, man.
It was a lot of us who were watching the movie, like people who are
it's
close.
Tough.
People who are close to stories, they go, "That ain't how it happened."
Right,
but
right. It's tough to get right.
I was standing there that day. I know what really happened. So it was that type of situation.
And I heard that when you were on tour with NWA in 1989, that they had like protests outside the arena, like that actually succeeded in shutting shows down.
Yeah, it was a lot of threats. If you sing those explicit songs, you're going to jail. It was. I remember one show. I feel like I don't even want to say where we were, but we were somewhere. It could be like Northwest, somewhere, and it was so serious. The show was sold out, and it was so serious with the parents.
Yeah.
The parents were protesting, and it was one of those towns where you can't go against your parents. You can't. You can't. And literally, the tickets were sold out, and the crowd was empty because on the day of the show, the community protested the venue. They came out and picketed the venue, and the kids couldn't cross the picket lines with their own
So
family.
the show was actually canceled.
No, it wasn't canceled. We performed to an empty crowd.
Oh, damn.
To a light crowd.
So you got all the money.
Got all the money.
Yeah, got all the money. Wow.
I remember doing shows back then, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the crowd being given strict instructions that no one stands up, no one, you can't get all into the show.
Like
the most you
Footloose,
could
you're not
do
allowed
is
to dance.
when the song ends, you could clap. So
Wow.
it was very strange, but for the most part, we were out there wilding out. It was.
Damn. Did you ever have like any sort of a legal case for like a free speech thing, or did anything like that ever come up?
I've
with you
ran
guys?
from the cops a couple times after a show.
Wow.
I've been arrested a couple times. Like Columbus, Georgia, arrested everybody. They arrested me there.
What was it? Like 2 Live Crew, the felony obscenity.
Yeah. You just I
caught that charge. I beat it too.
Yeah, they tell you. I mean, it's just a little fine or whatever. You can fight whatever, but they tell you before you go on. They post it on the dressing room. They tell you cannot say these words. You can't do this. It's illegal in this city to say these words in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you say it, they always let me do the whole show. And you get arrested right on the side of the stage.
I did. Like, it's American heroes who have caught that obscenity charge. You got Jim Morrison, 2 Live Crew, Lenny Bruce,
Prince,
Too Short,
LL Cool J,
Steve-O. Yeah, and dude, I respect the coming up on selling the cassette tapes, man, because I came up way later. But still, I came up at a time where, for me to make my noise and get my recognition, like I had to record video cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
I hit play on one VCR and record on the other, and I'm duplicating my tapes. I'm taking them to the post office. And so yeah, I was kind of in the mixtape game too, man.
Exactly. I mean, you have to adapt to your environment to become popular. Like, you're really good at what you do because you do it a lot. The old 10,000 hour theory to become an expert at something. But you're really good. But we know people who are better than us who never make it as far as we do.
Sure.
Because they were missing that drive of the hustle, the self marketing and stuff like that.
Right. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and what I've arrived at is that to become successful, it's helpful to be intelligent. Mm-hmm. It's not mandatory. It's helpful to have discipline. But nothing is more important than enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the driver of all things that fucking matter. When people ask me, how do I do this? Man, I want to get into this. Like, they give the advice and everything. I say the same thing. I don't give a fuck what it is you want to do. The only thing that matters is how bad you want to do it. And it's like when you're fucking, you've got your mind made up and you're enthusiastic and you're just fucking driven, that's when shit happens, dude.
Yeah, I remember I was truly in love with a woman who I thought was the most beautiful woman on the planet. I was in love. And one day she said with the most serious face, this was probably, I have like 20 plus albums. This was probably when I was on like album number 4 or 5. And she's like, well, now that we're in love and we're together, you can't sing those explicit songs anymore. And I was like, we had to break up. We had to break up because of my love for what I did. Mm-hmm. And I think back on that when you think back and go, damn, what if I'd stopped the Too Short style at album number 4?
Yeah, dude.
What would my life have been if I turned the corner?
If you got pussy whipped.
That's rule number 1. How to be a player, right?
That's like, some 99 problem shit, dude. You can't.
When you're in this business, I mean, things like that, like, you gotta go just shy of pussy whipping. Like, you right when you notice the whipping, you gotta run.
That whip comes out, dude.
You gotta run.
I mean, where
it comes to like you can't hang around your friends anymore. Like things that are making you that she got you for.
Right.
She said you can't do that shit no more.
So when your Eazy-E reaches out to you and brings you on tour, and that's just that's massive, man. I mean, right? That's where like it's no longer an Oakland thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm like selling 300,000 records, and I go on tour, and the tour ends, and I'm at 800,000, and then shortly after that, it goes to 1.3 million. It's like selling 500,000 in chunks just because of that hype of what we did,
Right.
Your parents were both accountants, right?
My parents were college graduate accountants, and they wanted nothing to do with their child being a rapper. And like you said, it takes a certain amount of intelligence. It helps. Yeah. And it really does. It's like, your parents say shit like, you're not wasting that brain. Like, I'm not. I just adjusted it to do this other new thing that you don't really know about yet. You'll catch on.
But how much did their career like stick in your head about like money consciousness when the money started rolling in? Were you good at it, like keeping track, or were you just like,
I just had the smarts to never let anyone else be in charge of the business or the money. So I was like, you could be my partner and we could look at these things together, but you can't be the one who looks at the numbers and brings it in and then tell me what my
Right.
Nobody could ever be that. And I saw a lot of my peers have that person in their life, and that was their downfall.
But you were like looking at the reports and like you were good at that shit.
Thing. Everything had to go through. My name had to be on everything. Like you could work for me, but I couldn't work for you.
And you know, there's times where you're switching camps, and then once you switch the camp, the old camp, they got some kind of problem. They feel like all the money you're making now is their money. So even if you're in charge and you're looking at all the numbers, and I
was smart enough at a young age though to like at the end of those
partnerships,
just like I'll buy everybody out.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much you want to go away? Here you go. And instead of the fight for life, so when you buy them out, we can still be friends, you know?
So you went the Snoop route instead of the Dre route.
Well, Dre did something that I don't think anybody would do. He just walked away.
He walked away. And he didn't take anything with him. He started over from scratch.
He literally, legally, was like, 25% owner of what he walked away from.
Right.
And it was worth $400 million.
Right. And how many of those hundreds of millions were just disappeared with everybody in jail or dead?
It was like, it appears to be like some kind of bad money or something. Like it was.
It's crazy how much money just
it's
fucking
crazy
went
how many
poof.
people ran away from it.
Yeah. And then
walked away, ran away, then just go, like they just left.
Yeah, walked away, but then Master P bought Snoop's. It's his
Snoop,
exit.
When you talk to him, he says that that exit from Death Row and that time he had on No Limit with Master P saved his life.
Absolutely.
Like he didn't have a way out. He didn't really have the business sense to get out.
Sure.
Master P showed him, this is what you're worth. This is what you can do. And
Master P brought him to Atlanta, right? Like, and
Master P, I feel like he was doing a lot out of New Orleans and
I think it was
Rouge.
Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think Snoop says he went and got a house in New Orleans or Houston or
Right.
somewhere.
I think it was Louisiana.
Somewhere down there, and he just kind of got him out of his element. And
he bought out the contract.
And a lot of what Snoop and the Dog Pound were doing when they became Death Row artists was what things they picked up on their journey down south through Master P. No, let me get it right. They were down south before Death Row, and then they did their Death Row thing and went back down south.
Oh shit! Okay,
they were down south in Houston and messing around, before they signed the Death Row.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, let me get it right.
Yeah,
I remember.
That was just so. I mean, it's still the same idea. You're gonna like end a partnership. You buy them out. And when you do that, is it like you got lawyers like with contracts to make it like airtight, or is it just like, hey man, be cool, here's some money?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta have some kind of man to man, and then you gotta have some kind of legal contract to dissolve it. But
yeah, like and then I guess some people don't really give too much of a fuck,
I just try to avoid the fallout that turns into a war.
Right.
Because, that's a waste of time, man. So it's a waste of time. And then looking back, I saw a lot of careers end through those little inner circle feuds.
100%,
and even like
man.
you just pick a few people over signed to a major label, and one album doesn't go right, and you hate 3 people over there, and you go to war with, and you just fucking end your career.
Dude, I brought this up with Be Real, how I watched this Hulu documentary about Tekashi 6ix9ine, and like that's a prime example of where like and it wasn't even with the label or anything. It was just like he's got 5 like hits on the Billboard 100 all at the same time. He's got money coming in, but he just decides to switch his loyalty from like one crew to another crew, and they're like watching all this money come in, and he's like, like that's asking for trouble.
And somehow he's still doing good. He's
actually probably killing it right now.
It really is. So.
I don't know, man. I don't have an opinion either way. Like it's not my place to have an opinion, but I was fascinated by that documentary, man. I thought it was fucking truly interesting.
Yeah, he played with fire.
Yeah, too. He did.
Yeah.
And I think that he's still like probably playing with it. But back to the NWA tour. Like Eazy-E reaches out to you. Did you ever lay down a track with Eazy-E?
rappers didn't make songs together back then. Different crews didn't. You didn't mix the crew. Like your crew had your DJs. Your crew had your rappers. You had your beat makers. And you guys did that for your camp.
And then Run DMC changed the shit by doing the Walk This Way with Aerosmith.
Yeah, but that was also a collab that was
Too different.
It was
Rick Rubin, right?
It was in Rick Rubin's mind, and he always wanted to infuse rock and roll, heavy metal, sounding rock with rap, and he did it, and it was big, and he knew he was right what he was hearing. But it's still what they were doing back then. If you weren't under Russell Rush management or assigned to Def Jam, you weren't really getting the Rick Rubin, Russell Simmons influence.
Yeah, and it's probably a pretty big deal too. Just the fact that Eazy-E reaches out to you to bring you on tour, like that's probably another thing that, you know.
He just knew that he was looking at the numbers. He knew how popular I was in the cities that we were going to, and he's like, you know, we had to. At one point before I dropped the album I toured on was Life Is Too Short. And they were touring on Straight Outta Compton. Right before that, he had Boys in the Hood, the song out, which was
like he had Easy Does It, yeah.
It was like a super giant record of like summer, like 87, 88, like the songs that just don't go away. I had Freaky Tales out. Those two records, Freaky Tales and Boys in the Hood, were like the best two records you could listen to in your car if you had woofers. And I mean, we just had that neck and neck thing we were doing where we did smaller shows together, and he saw the reaction to the crowd, and he just was like, I guess he had the opportunity to headline a tour, and he's like, I want to take this guy Too Short with me. We didn't really know each other. We just knew each other from backstage and what's up, and you know.
And what was your label at that time? You said Jive Records?
I was on Dangerous Music, but I just signed a Jive. I own Dangerous Music, but I just signed a Jive.
So what's the motivation for that? Like, if you own the label that you're on, like, what can Jive can offer you?
Distribution, worldwide distribution. We were limited to. We were making a lot of money, but we were limited to how fast we could manufacture the product.
Oh wow!
And then get it to the streets, and then keep it in stores. We kept selling out. We could never manufacture enough.
Dude, that's a good problem to have. And when you do negotiate that deal with Jive, presumably because you've got your own label and you're in pretty good shape owning your own shit, that gives you leverage to negotiate a better deal with Jive.
To a certain extent. The labels are masters of, you know, just pimping.
Exactly. So because it's catch-22.
No matter how tough you get, you still turn around 5 years later and go, this fucking shitty-ass deal.
Right. Especially because, like, you know, we're talking about a time when it was impossible to really break out as a mainstream star with global success without a record deal. But it was impossible to really make money without owning your own music. So it's like chicken and the
labels,
egg.
like, you know, you don't think of it when you're 20, 21 years old, but like logically, like why does it take 50 pages of a artist contract and 50 pages of a publishing contract to make a deal with you? What does 50 fucking pages do? And I mean, literally in these contracts, you could have the best deal from page 1 to 12, and fucking page 36 in one paragraph says everything we agreed to on 1 through 12. It ain't true.
Right.
And they're like, well, you should have told them to take out this paragraph. I knew. It just says where to, wherefore, whereas in one sentence.
Right.
It's like you need a lawyer to look over the contract to sign your own lawyer.
Exactly. So
I don't know about that, but did you have a
later in life you really learn that I need a lawyer, right? And then I need a lawyer to lawyer on my lawyer.
Well, it's like if you sign a lawyer on, they're like, okay, cool, like just sign this contract with us. You're like, that's what I'm hiring you for.
Right.
He wants a contract. Yeah, what the fuck?
So when you signed a Jive in like 89 or before?
It was 88.
88. Okay. And at that point, do you have a lawyer negotiating your deal with Jive?
We had lawyers and everything, but at the same time, we were at a point where we couldn't really, we didn't want to become that company that, like, we should have. Like, if you think about what it could have been, it could have been $100 million. We could have been that, but that's a lot of fucking work.
Sure.
And you know, I'm a music guy. I didn't want to get tied up with the being a manufacturer and the distributor.
What was the Jive deal? It was a seven album deal.
Yeah, probably 7 albums the first
That's
time.
A lot,
that's
dude.
a lot of albums.
That's a lot of albums.
Well, probably 6 because we came in with 1.
Okay.
And then we gave him the second one really fast. So it wasn't really...
Yeah, right. Like I heard that you delivered all your albums before you even received the budget to make the albums.
Just turned the albums in, and then, you know, we got through the contract pretty quick. And then we renegotiated for like a really decent look. But
and how many albums on the renegotiation deal?
Probably another handful. I ended up at Jive with like 12, 13 albums, somewhere up in there.
Right.
But
how many did you put out on Dangerous?
Before Jive?
Yeah.
Dangerous, we just did the one album, Born to Mac.
Okay, so you had 3 on 75
and we became
girls.
a production company. We signed a lot of groups through Jive and a couple other labels.
Oh, so you did the whole like Interscope and Shady kind of.
Exactly. You kind of like the sub label, whatever they call them.
Right.
So you gotta put the shit in context though, because I'm doing good. I'm regional, very strong West Coast, and
right.
you know, little tentacles out beyond the West Coast, but I'm making most of my money from San Diego to Seattle, and just it's West Coast, and it's the distribution people that I'm using out of the Bay. They can't really get into New York or anywhere unless they partner with another distribution. So we knew our limitations, and then you're looking at Jive Records, who approached us, and at the time they had the hottest rapper, Kumo D. They just signed Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One. They just signed Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Will Smith, and they hadn't got Tribe Called Quest yet, but they had Houdini. Houdini was next to Run DMC.
You had me at KRS-One.
Yeah, but I'm saying they had Houdini. This is before KRS.
Yeah.
This Houdini's huge. They're the group that comes on the show with Run DMC and everybody, and they steal the show. That's those guys. And they're on Jive. They had fucking Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen.
Wow.
And it's like, they're doing big things. But to me, I'm looking at Kumo D, and I'm looking at Houdini, and I'm like, well, shit, that's big.
Right. And you're right. Like they're gonna give you all the promotion, all they're gonna blow you up. It's kind of like me being stand-up comedy. Like I do comedy, and my last comedy special, I put it out on my own website. Did great with it, but that's like independently putting it out. Now, like what's gonna be the effect on my future career if I put my next special out on Netflix? That's probably pretty similar.
Right. So yeah, man, it's just it was just a matter of distribution, and then on the other end, you probably the percentages in the deal don't allow you to get what you get when you're independent, but then that's a trade-off for traveling around the world and getting paid a lot of money to perform in arenas. And then I don't get this career. I don't think I get the career that I've had if I stay independent. Right. I get sort of like, you know who stayed independent as far as
Cash
I know?
Money Millionaires?
They ended up with Universal. Cash Money
did they?
Early on. They got the
with Sylvia
remember the
Browne?
$5 million deal, and they got the $5 million, and it was
okay.
You know, it was Juvenile, back that ass up and all that. They went big. Now I'm talking about more like a guy like Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay.
Who did really good in like real estate, and he did really good with his independent label, and he decided to be his own mogul up in Seattle without becoming what the rest of us did, which was, you know, trade in your independent hustle for.
How about Master P? Did he ever sign to a label?
I really feel like he went to Priority, which was like not a major, but he went to Priority and hooked up a deal where he could make a lot of money with major distribution, but with independent type of.
So he kind of split the
numbers.
difference.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of people did that over at Priority. Yeah. And I think Master P, he really was. I think the smartest thing he did was the Bout It movie, and he did the movie the same way he did the independent distribution of the music. So these really cheesy ass movies made a lot of profit. You
Yeah.
know? So from there, you couldn't really hold him back anymore. And, you know, everybody makes their little chess move that gets you to the next level.
Sure. So people didn't collab on tracks together back in the day.
It really didn't, unless you were claiming to be the, you know, affiliated crews or something.
Right.
You just really, it was, I could hang around rappers all day and we would never say, hey, let's do a song together. It would never come up.
Right.
Ever.
That'd be like, let's get in the hot tub together or
It's
something.
just like, what
Weird.
the fuck for? I don't,
But boy, did you like end up doing tracks with a bunch of people, man. You made one with Tupac.
the reason why I started doing a lot of collaborations is because in 1996, I turned 30 years old. At that time, there was a myth that 30-year-old rappers were old as fuck.
Right.
And when I turned 30, I released my 10th album. And 10 albums was like, who's got 10 albums? Like out of rappers,
Sure.
like in 1996, nobody had 10 albums. So when I announced that I was 30 years old, I releasing my 10th album, and I'm stepping away from the rap game. I retire. They were like, oh shit. And then they checked the track record, and of those 10 albums, it was like 6 platinum and like 4 gold, some shit like that. Some crazy number. And then the rumor went out, Too Short got 10 platinum albums, and it's like all good for PR. But the numbers, I always play on the numbers, being the accountant's child.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, the 30, the 10, nice round numbers, you know, I retire. And when I retired, I got all this free press. It's the most free press I ever got that was positive. And because, you know, negative press is free as fuck.
Yeah.
And that shit goes far. But no, this best free press I ever got that was, you know, in my favor. And it was like Too Short retires, 10 platinum albums, blah, blah, blah. And it just went everywhere. I just held one little press conference, and I threw a retirement party at the Century Club in Beverly Hills in Century City, whatever. And it was just, my phone went crazy.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, if you're going to retire, let me get a verse. Let me get on my album, do this, that. So I did a song with Jay-Z
Yeah.
prior to the retirement. I had worked with, you know, some key figures.
That's how Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac came and got on one of my albums, and I did some stuff with Tupac with Ant Banks, who's my guy. I did the song with Biggie.
Yeah.
The World is Filled. So now I already got the Jay-Z thing happening. I did a song with Eric Sermon. Me and him did a duet called Buy You Some, and you know he was huge in New York. So these records come out, Buy You Some. I did a song with Lil' Kim, Call Me, on the Booty Call movie soundtrack. I do the Biggie song, The World is Filled, and then I had the Jay-Z song, Real Niggas Do Real Things, whatever. So this is my little
Retirement party. That's your.
So I retire, and then because it's Biggie, Jay-Z, and you know, everybody started calling saying, man, let me get a Too Short verse. So I really went on from that point on, I just did like 1 million features. And, you know, it just turned into Kevin Bacon's 7 Degrees of Separation, you know, like,
Yeah.
like fuck,
You're
Too
the
Short.
Kevin Bacon of the rap.
I rapped with everybody in it, and you know, the East Coast West Coast thing broke out, and I was so wedged into loyal friendship with everybody that was supposed to be enemies in the war that when they came to me and they said pick a side, and I was like, it ain't my war. Like I'm from Oakland.
That's
y'all.
great, man. Dude, what DOC say about it? Like, when, you know, I brought up how Eminem and Snoop were going after each other. He says, hey, man, I'm Switzerland.
Yeah.
Good.
Diplomatic. Yeah.
Hey,
so-
do we have to cut this short? I don't mean to be
I
rude,
mean-
but do we? Because
I mean, dude,
we pushed your thing back. And do you have a premiere at 6?
Oh, yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but
I mean-
I see a lot of people huddling around the car looking in, so I'm not sure if
On
those are
point
your people.
Scott Randolph. On point
On
lifestyle.
Scott Randolph.
I mean, I
man.
hate to be the wet
I mean,
blanket,
dude,
but
we could absolutely
Is there a guy
fucking.
standing right out there?
there's like
Yeah, 2 guys just showed up.
Yeah, they're getting the mic from the surfing thing.
And yeah, I think we're getting
All right,
oh,
yeah,
those are with
I
you
think we
because
got
there's
the
another
light.
dude looking in to see what.
We got the light. All right, man. Well, dude, what a pleasure, man.
Sorry to cut everybody off. But this has been going fantastic.
We can edit around. We can edit around it. I gotta tell you, man. I like have had my struggles with like not shutting the fuck up, with like talking over people, and I think that this one went really well, dude.
Yeah, you know.
If
I
Steve,
still fucked up a little bit, but not as much as usual.
if Steve brings back his rap career, would you ever sing a verse on one of his albums?
Depends on the song.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm making a song about. It's called "I Love My Girl," but
That's right up Too Short's alley, right there.
I'm already on that. I did a song with what are those guys? The Lonely Island, the Lonely.
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah, I saw about
That's on one of
that.
their albums.
But "I Love My Girl," but except it's about that 1 week a month, man. The demon shows up, man. I can't fuck with the demon.
I'm like, I love my girl, but I love my other girl too.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, man, dude, it's been a pleasure, dude. Really, thank you so much.
Good shit.
Dude, I'm so sorry I was late too, man. That was a bad look, and thank you for being cool about it.
Dope van,
Oh,
man,
hey,
by the
man,
way.
what can we shout out for you?
Just make sure you let the world know about Mount Westmore. Mount Westmore is Too Short, E40, Ice Cube, and Snoop Dogg. We just started a group. We just released we released a single called Big Subwoofer, and the album's coming out. And you think, okay, those guys got together and made an album. No, we actually got together and recorded 50 songs, and
Shit.
we put an album together. And it was really difficult to figure out which songs could make the first album.
Damn,
So,
that's a power group.
Mount
dude.
Westmore, you said?
Yeah, I guarantee
Mount
you.
Westmore's Too Short, Ice Cube, E40, and Snoop.
Yeah, look it up right now. It's everywhere.
All right,
Jeez,
dude.
we're
I'll
getting on that.
I'll say that in the intro to the
There it
podcast,
is.
so that's the first piece of info they get.
All right, man.
Hey, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yo, thank
Dude,
you,
thank
Too
you.
Short.
Yeah, dope fan. You see this band, man? See this shit?
Yeah, that was super sick.
That was really sick.
Yeah, dude, how sweet was that? Now, you know I love you guys who stick around to the very end, and I want to tell you something. I've been resistant to playing back the podcasts and studying them, even though I know that that's going to make me better at it. But now I've stumbled on a new practice. Yeah, dude, we set the YouTube version of the podcast to premiere. And then when it premieres, I go in the live chat, which forces me to review the podcast so I can study it and get better. And it allows me to interact with you guys in real time because I'm seeing every single one of your comments and I'm responding to you guys. So yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, man. Now it's a big deal. It's the premiere of the Wild Ride podcast on the YouTube version. So I'm excited about that. Fuck, man. Thanks, dudes.